Journey with the Lilgilda ship. The Lilgilda is a large sailing ship used by the people of the Nale Land to transport the products of the Nale Land on the Camelva River to distant lands. This ship is not only a means of transportation, but also a symbol of the ingenuity and naval craft of the Naledi people. Through her robust and adaptable design, Lilgilda played a crucial role in the development of Naledia's trade and cultural expansion, facilitating long-distance economic and cultural exchanges. Lilgilda's construction reflects an ingenious combination of local materials and traditional techniques. The main body of the ship is made of Balania and Palaffa wood, known for their durability and strength. These types of wood are abundantly available in the forests of Nale Land, making the ship's maintenance and repairs cost-effective. Sails are made of a robust megal fabric, treated to withstand the variable weather conditions of the Camelva River. The cables and ropes are made of hemp, fedak, offering a balance between flexibility and strength. The Lilgilda is approximately 50 meters long and a width of 15 meters, dimensions that allow the transport of a large amount of cargo without compromising maneuverability on the river. The flat bottom of the ship facilitates navigation in the shallow waters of the Camelva, and the curved shape of the hull ensures stability in conditions of wind and strong currents. The main deck is spacious, designed to allow cargo to be loaded and unloaded quickly. Below deck there are ample storage spaces, intelligently compartmentalized to keep cargo in optimal conditions of safety and organization. The ship's superstructure includes a captain's cabin and accommodation for the crew, all designed to ensure comfort during long voyages. The Lilgilda is equipped to carry various types of cargo, from agricultural products and natural resources to craft artifacts and luxury goods. Her cargo capacity exceeds 200 tons, enabling the efficient transport of a large amount of products on each voyage. This made it essential for long-distance trade, reducing the number of voyages required and, by implication, operational costs. Navigating the Camelva River presents many challenges, including strong currents, banks of sand and seasonal water level variations. The Lilgilda is equipped with an adaptive sail system, which allows for rapid adjustment of the Velix surface according to meteorological and hydrographic conditions. The experienced crew is trained to navigate safely through these difficult conditions, using traditional techniques of navigation passed from generation to generation. Lilgilda played a vital role in the development of the economy of Nale Land, facilitating trade with distant regions. Nale Land is rich in natural resources and agricultural products, which were transported on the Camelva River to various markets. Products such as wheat, wine, precious wood, and semi-precious stones became valuable trade goods, increasing the prosperity of the region. In return, Lilgilda brought back exotic goods and new technologies from distant lands, contributing to the diversification of the local economy and technological progress. Through intense trade, the people of the Naledi established strong trade relations and political alliances with other regions, consolidating their influence and economic power. Beyond the economic aspects, the Lilgilda was a vehicle of cultural exchange. Sailing the Camelva, the crews of the Lilgilda interacted with various cultures and traditions, bringing back stories, customs, and innovations. These cultural exchanges have enriched the life of Nale communities, contributing to greater openness and cultural diversity. Lilgilda's crew consists of approximately 30 members, each with a well-defined role in the operation of the ship. The captain, chosen for his experience and knowledge, is responsible for navigation and strategic decisions. He is assisted by a second and several officers responsible for various aspects of the ship's operation, including sail maintenance, cargo management, and crew supervision. Sailors are trained in various skills, from sail handling and ship maintenance to navigation and emergency management. Discipline and cooperation are essential to the efficient operation of the Lilgilda, and the camaraderie between crew members is a crucial factor for the success of long voyages. Navigation on the Camelva River requires a thorough knowledge of the route and hydrographic conditions. Detailed maps, based on previous expeditions, are essential for avoiding obstacles and planning safe routes. Astronomical observations and knowledge of river currents are integrated into the navigation strategy, allowing the crew to adjust the sails and the ship's direction according to the conditions encountered. This combination of tradition and adaptability ensures the success of every Camelva voyage. Navigation on the Camelva River is often influenced by unpredictable weather conditions. Violent storms, strong winds, and dense fog can pose major dangers to Lilgilda and her crew. The ability to quickly adjust sails and navigate with caution is essential to avoid disaster. The Camelva River is littered with natural obstacles such as sandbars and rocks hidden underwater. These can cause serious damage to the ship if not carefully avoided. The experience of the captain and crew, together with the use of charts and navigational instruments, are crucial to safe navigation. In addition to natural hazards, Lilgilda faces and with the threat of piracy and attacks by hostile forces. The crew is trained in defense techniques and is prepared to respond quickly to any attempted attack. Collaboration with other merchant ships and regional alliances provides an additional level of security during voyages. Lilgilda had a profound impact on the development of commercial infrastructure in Nale Land. The ports and docks along the Camelva River were modernized and expanded to facilitate the loading and unloading of goods. These improvements stimulated trade and contributed to the economic growth of the region. Crafts and technology from Nale Land have benefited enormously from the exchanges facilitated by Lilgilda. The new techniques of wood processing and house construction have been adopted and integrated into local traditions, leading to a continuous development of the skills and technical knowledge of the Naledi people. Lilgilda's travels led to greater cultural diversity and intense intellectual exchanges. Artists, craftsmen, and scholars from different regions came to Nale, contributing to a cultural renaissance. These exchanges led to a greater appreciation of diversity and an enrichment of social and cultural life. The Lilgilda is not just a sailing ship, but a symbol of the progress, ingenuity, and resilience of the Naledian people. With its robust design and remarkable functionality, the Lilgilda facilitated trade and cultural exchanges along the Camelva River, contributing to the economic and cultural development of the Nale Land. Its legacy continues to influence the lives and traditions of the Naledi people, demonstrating the power and importance of innovation in navigation and trade. The banks of the Aled River are where much of the Naledi people's daily activities take place. Here, the women, with their long blonde hair worn in braided tails, gather to wash clothes, fish, and collect medicinal plants and berries. Dressed in blue dresses, made of special flax, megal, grown in the land Naled, they are a special sight in the natural landscape. The ship Lilgilda, led by Captain Loden Ushade, the ruler of Nale Land, is not only a trading ship, but also a symbol of hope and continuity for the Nale community. Along with Loden, for this journey, there is also his family, his devoted wife, Umla, and his son, Eldrin, who serves as his second, along with his girlfriend, Kolini. Loden, the master of the ship Lilgilda, along with his wife Umla, their son Eldrin, and Eldrin's fiancée Kolini, confer with the crew to prepare the ship's departure for the land of the Borings. The cargo includes valuable products from the land of Nale, and the dangers of pirates are part of the risks of this journey. Loden Sadface, raising his voice to be heard over the sound of the waves, "Crew, listen to me carefully. We are about to embark on a long and dangerous journey to the Borings. We have a precious cargo of products from the land of Nale, which must reach their destination safely. Each of you has a crucial role to play in this mission." Umla sad faced next to Loden, with a serious look. "I want us to make sure everything is in order before we leave. Check the supplies, secure the cargo, and prepare for any eventuality. The dangers of pirates should not be underestimated." Eldrin sad faced to the crew, "Deck crew, check all the sails and make sure they're in perfect condition. I want every rope double-checked. Our safety depends on it." Kolini sad face, calm but determined, "Below deck crew, take care of the supplies and cargo. Make sure everything is secured. Any sudden movement could compromise the stability of the ship." Crew member 1 sad face, raising his hand, "Loden, I heard that pirate activities have been observed near our routes. What safety measures will we take to avoid a confrontation?" Loden sad face with a serious expression, "We will sail a less known route to avoid pirate patrols. In addition, each crew member will have a specific task in case of attack. We must be prepared for any situation." Crewman 2's sad face, concerned, "What are we going to do if we do run into pirates?" Do we have enough weapons to defend ourselves? Eldrin's sad face calm but firm. We have the necessary weapons and are prepared to defend ourselves. But the most important thing is to avoid a direct confrontation. We will use Logilda's speed and maneuverability to escape if we are pursued. Collini's sad face with an encouraging smile. We are a strong and well-prepared team. We have been through a lot together, and we will succeed this time too. Each of you knows what you have to do. Umla's sad face addressing the entire crew. I want you to know that we are proud of you and we trust that we will be able to complete this mission. We must remain vigilant and work together. Loden's sad face with a concluding tone. Good. Now, to your positions. We leave as soon as we finish the last checks. Let's raise the anchor and get going. Logilda and her crew are ready for any challenge. Eldrin's sad face looking at Collini. Let's make sure everything is in order with the supplies. The cargo must be securely fastened. We can't risk losing anything on the way. Collini's sad face nodding. Of course, Eldrin. Loden, the master of the ship Logilda, checks the details of the cargo before departure and talks to Collini, his son's fiancé, Eldrin. Collini gives a detailed inventory of the goods loaded on the ship, emphasizing their importance and value. Loden's sad face looking seriously at Colin. Colin, I want to make sure that everything is in order with the cargo. What do we have on board for this trip? Collini's sad face with a note of professionalism in his voice. Sure, Loden. Our cargo is varied and valuable. We have 3 tons of fresh fruit and 10 tons of grain. We also loaded 4 tons of ceramic dishes and 2 tons of wine. Loden's sad face noting mentally. All right. What else do we have? Collini's sad face continuing. We have 500 bags of clothing products and 6 tons of beef, sheep and goat meat. These are added 2 tons of dairy products and footwear products made of boko leather, from the Nale Land. Loden's sad face approvingly. Very good. And for the port town of Tuckborough? Collini, for Tuckborough, we have 4 tons of poultry and 7,000 eggs. In addition, we carry delicacies, turtle eggs, 300 barrels of cheese and 200 rolls of linen for making of clothes. Loden's sad face interested. Looks like an impressive load. Is there anything else I should know? Collini's sad face with a serious expression. Yes, Loden. We also have 4,000 bottles of Barony, a fruit alcohol that is very expensive. We have to be very careful with these bottles, because they are very valuable. Loden's sad face nodding. I see. Barony is a precious product. Let's make sure it's well secured and we're careful with its handling. Collini's sad face reassuring him. We have double-checked the safety of the cargo and will continue to be vigilant. Every crew member knows how important this journey is. Loden's sad face with a satisfied smile. Good. You're well prepared, Colin. Let's make sure all safety precautions are followed and sail carefully. Our cargo must reach its destination safely. Collini's sad face with determination. We will do everything necessary. Loden. We are ready to go and face any danger on the way. Loden's sad face raising his hand. All right. Let's hit the road and make sure Logilda and her crew are ready for this important journey. Loden's sad face raising his hands to capture the attention of the crew. Let's not forget, crew, that the success of this journey depends on each one of us. Let's sail wisely and keep calm. We have a long way to go, but together we will succeed. Umla's sad face with a warm but determined look. Each of you is essential to the success of this mission. Let's remember why we embarked on this journey and give our best. Loden, loudly, raise the anchor. All sails up. Let's sail to the moorings and make this trip a success. The crew, motivated and prepared, began to move quickly and coordinated, raising the anchor and preparing the sails for departure. With brave and dedicated leaders, the ship Logilda and her crew were ready to face any challenge on their way to the land of moorings. This team represents a unique blend of experience, youth and love, each member having an essential role in the success and safety of the journey. One day, the ship Logilda set off loaded on the Camelva River, having the route to the Mila Ocean. A journey full of challenges and opportunities. Loden is not only the captain of the ship Logilda, but also the respected leader of the land of Nale. His vast experience and deep knowledge of navigation and trade make him a natural leader for this voyage. Loden has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills over the years, able to make difficult decisions at critical moments. ensuring that the ship and its crew arrive safely at their destination. Loden's relationship with his crew is one of respect. He has cultivated a work environment based on trust and collaboration, where every member of the crew knows their role and responsibilities well. Loden makes sure that everyone on Ligilda is well prepared and motivated, knowing that the success of the trip depends on the collective efforts of everyone. The crew consisted of 43 sailors living in the land of Nale, among which 10 were soldiers with weapons ready for the attack of the pirates, bows with poisoned arrows, swords and flints, but also axes and knives made at the forge in the land of Nale. Umla plays a vital role in maintaining the morale and unity of the crew. As the wife of the captain, she brings an element of stability and emotional support, essential in the long and often dangerous journeys on the Camelva River. Umla is known for her kindness and empathy, providing comfort and encouragement to the crew in times of difficulty. In addition to her emotional support, Umla takes care of managing the ship's resources. She ensures that supplies are sufficient and well distributed, thus contributing to the well-being of the crew. Umla's efficient organization and attention to detail are essential to maintaining discipline and order on the Ligilda. Eldrin, son of Loden and Umla, serves as second in command on the ship Ligilda. Young and ambitious, Eldrin is eager to prove his skills and learn from his father's experiences. He plays a crucial role in navigating the ship and overseeing the crew, always ready to take command in the captain's absence. The relationship between Eldrin and his girlfriend, Colini, adds a special dynamic to the crew. Together, they represent the future, bringing energy and enthusiasm to the ship's mission. Colini, intelligent and courageous, is a constant support for Eldrin, sharing his dreams and responsibilities. Together, they dream of a prosperous future for Nale, motivated by their love and desire to bring prosperity to their community. Colini is known for her daring spirit and the innovative ideas she brings to the crew. She plays an active role in the navigation strategy and in solving problems that arise during the journey. Her intelligence and courage make her a valuable member of the crew, able to adapt quickly and find effective solutions in crisis situations. In addition to her technical and strategic skills, Colini contributes significantly to the cohesion crew. She is often the link between crew members, facilitating communication and collaboration. Her positive presence and upbeat attitude help maintain a harmonious and productive work environment on the ship. Traveling on the Camelva River is full of challenges. From unpredictable currents and changing weather, to the constant threat of pirates from Carindal, every day brings new obstacles. The team on Ligilda must always be vigilant and ready to face any emergency. Loden's experience and the youthful spirit of Eldrin and Colini are essential to successfully navigating these dangers. A constant threat on the Camelva River are the pirates of Carindal, led by the dreaded Malfred and his lover, Huma. Loden, the master of the ship Ligilda, discusses with his son Eldrin the traumatic experience last year when their ship was attacked by the pirate Malfred. Eldrin recalls how Loden was able to wake up the crew and prepare them for an impending attack. Loden's sad face looking at the horizon, lost in thought. Eldrin, do you remember the attack last year, when the Ligilda ship was captured by Malfred? It was a morning at sunrise. Eldrin's sad face nodding, with a serious look. Yes, father, I remember very well. The sky was barely lit, and the silence of the morning was broken by the sight of that black ship. You reacted immediately, waking up the whole crew. Loden's sad face sighs. It was a hard day. I knew from the moment I saw the pirate flag that I had no time to waste. I immediately went to the bell and started ringing it loudly to wake everyone up. Eldrin's sad face with respect in his voice. You had incredible presence of mind, father. You managed to organize everyone in minutes. I ran on deck, ready for battle, even though we were all sleepy and surprised. Loden's sad face smiles bitterly. We had no choice. It was vital to be prepared. We knew that Malfred had no mercy and that a surprise attack would have been devastating for us. We gave them clear orders to prepare our weapons and be ready to defend. Eldrin's sad face voice trembling slightly. I remember how we formed defense lines and prepared the stone catapults. Each of us had a specific task. We were lucky that you trained us well before that day. Loden, stroking his beard, luck was on our side. But our preparation also made the difference. We knew how to keep calm and coordinate. We ordered to quickly change the direction of the ship, hoping to gain time and avoid a direct attack. Eldrin's sad face with a grateful look, and it worked out. We managed to avoid the direct impact of the initial attack. Malfred was surprised by our quick maneuvers. Although he attacked us, we managed to defend ourselves quite well. Loden, serious. But let's not forget the price we paid. We lost good people that day. Eldrin. We must remember them and make sure we are even better prepared in the future. Eldrin's sad face with determination. You're right, Father. That lesson was hard, but it made us stronger. Now we know we can never underestimate the dangers of the sea. We'll do whatever it takes to protect Ligilda and the crew. Loden's sad face with a proud smile. You are a good captain, Eldrin. Together, we will sail with caution and courage. And we will always be ready, no matter what the future holds. Ligilda and our crew deserve all our efforts. Eldrin's sad face squeezing his father's hand. I promise you, Father, that I will do everything in my power to protect everyone and carry on your legacy as a wise and brave leader. The Ligilda crew is aware of the risks involved in these attacks and is taking additional security measures. Defense strategies and contingency plans are prepared to deal with any attempted attack, and vigilance is maintained to the maximum. The success of the Ligilda ship depends greatly on measure of cooperation and collaboration among crew members. Every person, from Captain Loden to the youngest crew members, has a crucial role in the smooth running of the voyage. Open communication and respect are fundamental to maintaining discipline and efficiency on board. Loden, as a seasoned leader, assumes the role of mentor to the younger crew members, especially his son, Eldrin. This mentoring relationship is essential to the development of Eldrin's leadership skills and his preparation for future responsibilities. Learning from first-hand experiences and from his father's stories gives Eldrin a solid foundation for the future. Attack of the pirates. The Camelva River glistened under the rays of the barely rising sun as the ship Ligilda gracefully advanced towards the Mila Ocean, laden with grain and other precious cargo. On board, Captain Loden Ushade, the ruler of Nale Land, sat at the helm, his eyes fixed ahead on the horizon. Next to him was his wife, Umla, whose emotional support was essential on such journeys. Their son, Eldrin, and his girlfriend, Kolini, were actively involved in navigating the ship and maintaining order on board. The voyage appeared to be uneventful, and the crew of the Ligilda were in a positive mood. Eldrin and Kolini discussed the future, dreaming of the prosperity that trade with the regions beyond the Mila Ocean could bring. Still, Loden remained cautious. He knew that the waters of the river the Camelva were often dangerous, especially from the pirates of Carindal, led by the dreaded Malfred and his lover. Pumadad. As the Ligilda advanced, a sense of unease began to creep among the crew. Along the banks of the river, the dense forests and the steep hills offered perfect places for an ambush. Loden had noticed a few suspicious movements in the shadows of the trees, but nothing clear. However, his instinct as a seasoned sailor told him that something was wrong. Suddenly, a frightening sound echoed from behind. Eldrin, who was keeping watch in the club, cried out in alarm. Pirates! The Myrtha gold ship was rapidly approaching from the east. Ligilda began to be agitated. The deck team was quickly mobilizing, preparing for battle. Loden knew they didn't stand much of a chance against the dreaded Myrtha gold, but they had no choice but to battles. The Myrtha gold ship, black sails and pirate insignia flying, was fast approaching. Malfred, the fearsome pirate leader, sat at the helm, watching the people of the Ligilda with a wicked smile. Next to him was Huma, whose black eyes carefully scrutinized every movement of the opposing ship. Prepare to attack! Shouted Malfred, raising his sword. The pirates were moving nimbly, readying their slings and ropes to catch the Ligilda. Soon the two ships were close together and the pirates were beginning to board the Ligilda. The fight broke out furiously. Loden, armed with a sword and a pistol, he fought alongside his crew to repel the attack. Umla, though not a warrior, helped the wounded and brought ammunition to those in need. Eldrin and Kolini fought side by side, showing courage and skill against the pirates. Malfred, a seasoned warrior, worked his way through the ranks of the Ligilda's crew, looking for Lodien. At the same time, Huma was coordinating the attacks, making sure the pirates remained organized and efficient. Finally, Loden and Malfred came face to face. The two leaders looked at each other intently, aware that the fate of the crew depended on this duel. Loden raised his sword and shouted, "You're a coward, Malfred! Attack innocent people to satisfy your greed. There are no innocents on this river, Loden. Only those strong enough to survive." The fight between the two was intense and brutal. Swords clashed, sparks flying in all directions. Loden, though older, showed impressive skill, withstanding Malfred's ferocious attacks. As the duel continued, Eldrin and Collini managed to fend off a group of pirates trying to reach the cargo warehouse. At that moment, Eldrin noticed the imminent danger his father was in. Without he thought, he ran to where Loden was fighting Malfred. "Don't come near, Eldrin!" Loden shouted, but it was too late. Malfred had already noticed the movement and was preparing to strike Eldrin. But in that moment of distraction, Loden managed to gather all his strength and launch a decisive attack, severely wounding Malfred. Seeing their leader wounded, the pirates began to lose morale. Huma, though trying to motivate them to continue fighting, quickly realized that they had lost the advantage. With a retreat cry, the pirates began to retreat on Myrtha Gold, taking the Malfred with them. Loden, wounded and exhausted, fell to his knees, but he had been victorious. The team on the Lilgilda burst into shouts of joy and relief. Umla ran to her husband, helping him to his feet and tending to him. Eldrin and Collini hugged each other, grateful to have escaped alive. After the intense confrontation with the pirates led by Malfred, the crew of the Lilgilda ship, under the leadership of Captain Loden Ushade, resumed their course towards the Mila Ocean. With the pirates wounded and forced to retreat, the crew gradually regained their morale and turned their attention to their vital trading mission. The final destination was the land of the Borings, a land known for exotic spices and golden jewels. The first task of the Lilgilda's crew after the battle was to repair the damage sustained. The damaged timbers and sails were quickly replaced, and the crew worked tirelessly to ensure that the ship was again in optimal seaworthy condition. Umla, always caring, coordinated the care of the wounded, and Eldrin and Collini helped to restore the deck and reorganize the supplies. Loden knew that time was of the essence. The pirates might return or other dangers might arise at any moment. Thus, in a few days, the Lilgilda was ready to go again, and the crew resumed their voyage to the ocean of Mila with renewed determination. The river the Camelva lay before them, flowing smoothly to the vast ocean of Mila. The days passed one after another, and the crew of the Lilgilda remained vigilant. Although they had encountered few ships along the way, the tension remained, each member of the crew aware of the dangers that could arise at any time. Loden often sat at the helm, his eyes tirelessly watching the horizon. His often flew to the land of Nale and the immense responsibility he bore for the region's prosperity. Alongside him, Umla provided him with the moral support he needed, while Eldrin and Collini continued to perform their duties with devotion and energy. After several weeks of sailing on the river, the ship Lilgilda finally reached the ocean of Mila. The sight of the endless water and the open sky brought them a sense of liberation and hope. Loden orders the crew to prepare the ship for the ocean voyage, knowing that the next stage of the voyage would be crucial. The Mila Ocean, with its large waves and strong currents, required careful and experienced navigation. Loden and his crew were prepared, trusting in their abilities and the solidity of the ship Lilgilda. Sailing the ocean brought with it new challenges. Shifting winds and huge waves constantly tested the skills of the crew. Loden, with his calmness and experience, steered the ship with sure hands, and Eldrin, as second in command, ensured that every order was promptly executed. During the voyage, the crew faced and with occasional storms. One such storm hit the ship at midnight, when the sky suddenly darkened and the waves began to crash against the sides of the ship. Loden took control of the helm, shouting clear orders to keep the ship on course. He answered promptly, showing perfect coordination under pressure. After several days on the ocean, Lilgilda finally reached the shores of Borings Land. This was a land known for its natural riches and bustling markets. The Borings, dressed in colorful, they greeted the traders with big smiles and warm hospitality. The ship Lilgilda docked in the harbor and the crew began unloading the cargo. The grain, fruit, and other products from their ship were in high demand in the borings, and trade was fast and efficient. Loden and Eldrin meet with the harbor captain and chief of the harbor guard to discuss the attack by the pirate Malfred and the need to repair the Ligilda ship. They report the losses and request time for repairs. The harbor captain's sad face looking closely at Loden and Eldrin. Hello, gentlemen. I heard about the attack you suffered. Can you tell us more about what happened? Loden's sad face with a deep sigh. Yes, Captain. Our ship, the Ligilda, was attacked by the pirate Malfred one morning. At sunrise. It was a surprise attack, and we had to react quickly. Chief of the port guard sad face with a worried look. Were there victims? I heard the losses were significant. Eldrin's sad face in a serious voice. Yes, we lost 4 crew members in that attack. It was a tough battle, but we managed to defend ourselves and escape with our lives. Port captain, sympathetically, I'm sorry to hear that. The pirate Malfred is known for his cruelty. How did you manage to escape? Loden's sad face with determination. We used quick maneuvers and changed the direction of the ship to avoid a direct attack. Our crew fought bravely, and we managed to repel the attack. However, in the battle, our ship suffered significant damage. Chief of Harbor Guard's sad face taking notes. What kind of damage did Ligilda suffer? Eldrin. Listing, the sails have been torn, and the deck needs repairs. We've also lost a few masts, and need repairs to the compartments below deck. The harbor captain's sad face looking at Loden. What do you intend to do now? Loden's sad face firmly. After we unload the cargo, we will stay in port for another 2 or 3 days to carry out the necessary repairs. The Ligilda must be in perfect condition before going to sea again. Head of the port guard sad face with understanding. We understand the situation. We will do our best to provide you with the necessary support. If you need additional help, do not hesitate to ask us. Harbor captain's sad face with an encouraging smile. You are welcome to stay in our harbor for as long as repairs are needed. Our repair team is experienced and will help you restore the ship to its optimum condition. Loden's sad face gratefully. Thank you, Captain. We appreciate your help. We will begin unloading the cargo immediately, and then begin the repairs. Eldrin's sad face addressing the crew. Alright, folks. Let's get down to business. Let's unload the cargo and prepare the ship for repairs. Every second counts. Chief of Harbor Guard's sad face with a closing tone. If you need any resources or help, we are here to support you. We are impressed by your courage and will do our best to ensure that Ligilda is ready to road. With the help of the harbor captain and the head of the port guard, Loden and the crew of the Ligilda begin their repair work. They are determined to bring the ship to its optimal condition, honoring the memory of those lost and preparing for future adventures at SEA. In exchange for the products brought from Nale. The crew obtained products necessary for the land of Nale, gold jewelry, and other valuable goods. During their stay in borings, the Ligilda crew had the opportunity to explore the local markets and enjoy the hospitality of the locals. Loden and Umla were invited to tables of local merchants, where they discussed future collaborations and partnerships. Eldrin and Collini, fascinated by the culture and traditions of the borings, explored the city, discovering its hidden treasures. Before leaving, Loden concluded several important trade agreements, ensuring that relations between the Nale and the borings would continue to be prosperous. With supplies renewed and the ship loaded with valuable goods, the Ligilda was ready to return home. The return journey across the Mila Ocean and then the Camelva River was smoother than the coming. Although the crew remained vigilant, they encountered no major obstacles. The winds were favorable and the sailing proceeded without significant incidents. When Ligilda arrived again in Nale, she was greeted with great joy by the inhabitants. Loden, Umla, Eldrin and Collini were the heroes of the day, bringing with them not only valuable goods, but also stories of bravery and struggle. This successful voyage had a major impact on the economy and morale of the Nale community. The exotic spices and gold jewelry brought from the borings increased trade and brought new opportunities for artisans and merchants. Loden shared his experiences with the land's governing council, planning new expeditions and strengthening trade relations with other lands. Nale Land. In the land of Nale, on the banks of the river Aled, and north of the Myrtha forest, lived a mysterious and charming community known as the Naledi people. In the heart of the Nale Land lived the Naledi people, a unique community with special characteristics and traditions. These people were of imposing stature, about 2 meters tall, with a face covered in a slightly blue hue. And their eyes were blue or green and triangular, reflecting an ancient rootedness in these lands. They were proud of their identity and their cultural heritage, and their clothes, made of blue linen with golden thread produced by the Pandagana insect, were an expression of their traditions and way of life. The Naledi people were known for their uniqueness throughout the land. They lived in picturesque villages, perfectly incorporated into the natural landscape of the region, and they enjoyed a life in harmony with nature. Each member of the community performed his role in the most dedicated and efficient way possible, contributing to the prosperity and well-being of the entire community. Traditions and customs were an integral part of the life of the Naledi people. Every celebration and the event was marked by specific ceremonies and rituals rooted deep in their history and mythology. From festivals honoring their guardian gods to coming-of-age ceremonies, each important moment was celebrated in a very special way. The Naledi people were skilled craftsmen and talented artists. They expressed their creativity through sculpture, painting and other art forms, creating works of remarkable beauty that illustrated the myths and legends of their history. Every object they made was a testament to their craftsmanship and the deep connection with nature and spirituality. The most representative painting was a large white shell that was opened and inside was a bright blue pearl. For the Naledi people, nature was not only an environment in which they lived, but also a living and sacred presence to which they felt deeply connected. They honored their environment and protected it with care, recognizing the importance of balance and harmony in their entire existence. Through their traditions and practices, they expressed their gratitude for nature's gifts and understood that their relationship with the environment is one of interdependence and mutual respect. The pride of the land were the women who attracted attention with their rare beauty. Having blonde and long hair, which they braided in delicate tails and dressed in blue linen dresses, the material that grew in abundance in the land in the heart of the Nale region, the villages and towns of the Naledi people shone like oases of beauty and harmony. Every house and every street was carefully tended, and the nature around them seemed to unite in a dance of colors and smells. Although they lived in a world full of mysteries, the Naledi people always knew how to keep their optimistic spirit and their unwavering courage. The women of the Naledi community were true jewels of their land. With their long blonde hair that shone like the gold of the sun, and with their triangular eyes that showed their depth and wisdom, they were admired and respected by everyone around them. Dressed in blue linen dresses, the material that was the symbol of their land, they seemed to be beings from the world of dreams. The women in Naledi played a central role in the traditions and rituals of their community. They were responsible for preparing festivities and ceremonies, and always brought a touch of beauty and grace to everything they did. From ceremonial dances under the light of the moon to fertility rituals and transition into adulthood, they were the heart and soul of their community. The Naledi women were skilled in the traditional arts and crafts of their community. They expressed their creativity through embroidery and intricate weaving, creating works of art of breathtaking beauty. Each dress or cloth was an expression of their talent and their devotion to the traditions and values of the Nale Land. The Naledi women were deeply connected to the nature around them. They knew every leaf and every flower in their forest, and were always grateful for the gifts which they received from the earth and their guardian gods. They spent a lot of time outdoors, worshipping and protecting the environment. Umla Whitfoot. The ruler of the land of Nale was called Umla Whitfoot, a beautiful but very intelligent woman. Umla's house, located in the heart of the land of Naled, was a representation of the cultural and natural wealth of this region. Carefully and lovingly built from local materials, her parents' house, the house of the rulers of the Naled land, was a place of beauty and harmony, reflecting the traditions and values of the inhabitants. The house was built of stone brought from the Aled River, which flowed nearby, and wood from the Myrtha forest, which surrounded the entire region. These local materials ensured stability and durability of the construction, providing a safe and comfortable refuge for the inhabitants. The stone walls were massive and imposing, and the wooden roof gave it a rustic and authentic air. Inside the house, there were many elegant and refined decorations, which added a charm apart from the entire space. The paintings and sculptures, created by the talented hands of Nale residents, depicted scenes from nature, local myths and legends, but also portraits of the rulers and their families. The vivid colors and fine details gave the room a warm and welcoming atmosphere. The furniture in Umla's home was made mainly from local wood, crafted with craftsmanship and attention to detail. The chairs and tables were comfortable and practical, and the hand-woven rugs added color and texture to the rooms. Art objects, such as vases and ceramics, but also jewelry made of precious metals, highlighted the wealth and refinement of the Nale culture. Apart from the living area, the house also had functional and practical spaces, such as the kitchen, where delicious dishes were prepared from local products, and the restroom, where Umla relaxed and retreated during the quiet evenings. Each room was carefully and thoughtfully designed to provide comfort and functionality. Umla's house was not only a place to live, but also a symbol of the identity and prestige of the ruling family of the Nale Land. Through its beauty and splendor, the house reflected the cultural and natural wealth of the region, but also the social status and importance of the family in the local community. It was a place of pride and respect for all the inhabitants of Nale Land. In the heart of Nale Land, there lived a special family, whose stories crossed the borders of the region. Loden Ushade was a man of rare beauty and impressive strength, one of the most skilled sword and bow fighters from the entire land. With golden blonde hair and triangular green eyes specific to the Naledi people, he represented a classic image of the beauty and nobility of this community. He was the life partner of Umla Whitfoot. Their family, rife with love and respect, she was blessed with 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. In the Naledi tradition, women always gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and from among them, the future female leader was chosen according to her qualities and skills. Loden and the Umla were devoted parents and guided their children with love and wisdom. They shared their wisdom and knowledge with them, encouraging them to discover their passions and follow their dreams. Their children, raised amidst the enchanting nature of Nale Land, had a childhood full of adventure and learning. They ran through the Myrtha forest, explored the banks of the Aled River, and learned the secrets of hunting and cultivating the land. Loden taught his boys the art of sword and bow fighting, and Umla shared with his daughters the secrets of weaving and cooking, but also the secrets of weapons and the love for the land of Nale and its inhabitants. Despite the strict traditions and high expectations, Loden and Umla understood that each of their children was unique and had their own talents and interests. They encouraged the 4 to develop their skills and follow their passions, giving them all the support and guidance they needed. Sigista was a young woman with a strong and determined personality. Although shy at first, she gradually developed her leadership skills under her mother's careful guidance. Tall, with green eyes and blonde hair, she had an imposing and graceful presence. She had learned from her mother the art of negotiation, governance strategies, and the importance of making balanced and fair decisions for the good of the community. Sigista was not only an authoritarian figure but also an empathetic one. She understood the importance of listening to people's needs and was known for her time in villages in the Nale Land, listening to their problems and finding solutions together with them. She also encouraged innovation and progress, supporting local projects and improving the daily lives of the Naledi. On the other hand, Prizey, her twin sister, was equally talented, but in a different direction. Prizey had a free and creative spirit, being fascinated by the fine arts and the beauty of nature. She excelled in the art of textile making, a craft highly valued in Nale Land. Prizey was known for her wonderful dresses and intricate, woven from the special linen that grew in Nale Land. Prizey was also a master of the culinary arts, preparing delicious and savory dishes from local ingredients. She spent her time experimenting with new recipes and combining flavors, bringing a touch of novelty and diversity in the traditional cuisine of the Naleds. As time passed, Umla began to prepare her daughter Sigista for the role of leader. She shared with her the secrets and strategies of governance, but also the values and principles that had to be respected in order to preserve harmony and prosperity in the Nale Land. Sigista had learned that a true leader must be both strong and empathetic, to make difficult decisions, but also to care for people. Sigista was also encouraged to work closely with Prizey, Understanding that each of them brought something unique and valuable in the community, together they formed a perfect balance between authority and creativity, between power and beauty. Loden and Umla were proud of their children and their achievements. They saw in Sigista and Prizey the bright future of Nale Land and were confident that their daughters will continue to preserve the traditions and values that define this wonderful land. Their family life was full of love and mutual support, each family member contributing to the well-being and prosperity of the community. Under Sigista's future leadership, Nale Land was poised to continue on the path of prosperity and harmony. With Prizey's creative and innovative support, the community was sure to have new discoveries and improvements that would make their lives more beautiful and colorful. Their children, Sigista, Prizey, Eldrin and Finer, grew up in an environment full of love and learning. Loden and Umla gave them a well-rounded education, combining both the practical and moral aspects of life. Sigista and Prizey learned the arts of weaving and cooking from their mother, while Eldrin and Finer were trained in the art of the girls were encouraged to develop their skills and pursue their passions, whether it was textile making or cooking. Umla understood early on that Sigista had the qualities to become the next ruler of Nale Land. She began to prepare his daughter for this important role, sharing with her the secrets of governance, and teaching her to make balanced decisions. Sigista learned that a true leader must be strong, but also empathetic, able to listen to people's needs and find solutions for their problems. Sigista and Prizey formed a perfect balance between authority and creativity. While Sigista focused on aspects of governance and leadership, Prizey brought innovation and beauty to community life. Together, they managed to preserve the traditions and values of the Nale Land, but also to bring new ideas and improvements that would make their lives more beautiful and prosperous. Loden and Umla were proud of their children's achievements and the way they contributed to the well-being of the community. They saw in Sigista and Prizey the bright future of Nale Land and were confident that their daughters would continue to preserve the traditions and values that defined this wonderful land. Their family life was full of love and mutual support, each family member contributing to the well-being and the prosperity of the community. Thus, the story of Loden, Ushade and Umla Whitfoot, together with their wonderful children, was one of success, love and mutual respect. Together they built a charming land, where traditions and innovations were harmoniously intertwined, and people lived in peace and prosperity. Their legacy would endure long into the future, inspiring generations of Naledi to follow their dreams and uphold their values. Aled River. The Aled River was a grand and impressive river that wound its way through the heart of the Myrtha forest in the land of Naled. With its deep blue waters, the Aled River was a source of life and a central element of the wild and enchanting landscape. The height of the blue waters, which they reflected in the sunlight with an uplifting glow, giving the river a particularly attractive and mysterious aspect. The varied colors of the vegetation on the banks were mirrored in the clear waters, creating a picture of unreal and charming beauty. The depth of the Aled River was impressive, and the multitude of life that found shelter and food in these waters was amazing. Fish of various shapes and colors swam in the clear waters, traversing the river course with grace and elegance. The fish population was impressive and reflected the richness and balance of the aquatic ecosystem of the Aled River. On the banks of the river, the vegetation was lush and varied. Tall and vigorous trees reached towards the sky, providing shade and shelter to those who stopped to rest or enjoy the beauty of nature. The plants and flowers on the banks attracted an impressive variety of insects and small creatures, contributing to the balance and biodiversity of the entire region. North of the Myrtha forest, the Aled River made a bend before turning into a large and imposing lake. Its calm and deep waters provided a shelter and source of food for many species of fish and other aquatic life. The Aled River, with its deep blue waters, is the source of life and food for the Naledi people, who live in the Nale Land. The magical landscape of this land is shaped by the smooth flow of the river, which not only harbors a rich biodiversity, but is also a main artery for local transport and trade. The Aled River flows through plains and forests, nourishing the fertile land and providing essential resources for the Naledi community, before flowing into the Camelva River. The Aled River is more than just a source of water for the Naledi community. It represents the very essence of life in the Nale Land, having a central role in all aspects of daily life. The Nale people, characterized with their imposing height of 2 meters, blue faces and triangular eyes, they live in harmony with nature, and the Aled River is the symbol of this deep connection. The Nale people make small boats, ruka, intended for daily transport and fishing. These boats are built from wood, a special tree, tosemda, known only to the wise elders of the community. They are light enough to be handled by 2 people and are used for navigating the Aled River, collecting fish, and transporting agricultural products. In addition to the ruka, the Nale people build larger boats, rodak, equipped with sails, which can carry up to 10 people. These boats are essential for commercial expeditions, allowing the inhabitants to navigate the Aled River and reach the place where the Ligilda ship is anchored in the port of Faraka. These rodaks carried the goods that had to be loaded on the Ligilda to be transported on the Camelva River and further on the Mila Ocean. The sails are made of a special linen called megal, cultivated and carefully woven by the Nale women, ensuring an efficient and fast navigation. The most impressive of the boats is a large ship, Ligilda, capable of accommodating up to 100 people. This ship is used for long journeys and major expeditions, being a symbol of the skill and construction skill of the Naledian craftsmen. The wood used for the construction of the ship comes from the same special tree, Bolania, and its construction involves the collective work of the most talented boat builders in the community. The shores of Lake Aled. Lake Aled, formed between the villages of Triland and Myrtha, is a place of natural beauty and exceptional cultural and economic importance for the Naledi community. The shores of this lake are vibrant with activity, being the place where young people from the houses of Hilfima and Erbelia learn the art of navigation and the construction of boats and sails. In this picturesque landscape, traditions are preserved and transmitted from generation to generation, contributing to the development of the skills necessary for life on water and maritime trade. Lake Aled stretches for a distance of about 15 kilometers, with a variable width reaching up to 2 kilometers at its widest point. It is fed by the Aled River, which changes its course and widens between the villages of Triland and Shit. The lake is surrounded by lightly forested hills and fertile fields, creating a landscape of captivating natural beauty. The shores of the lake are dominated by lush vegetation, with forests of obegrim and rosaga, as well as meadows where wild flowers color the landscape during spring and summer. The waters of the lake are calm and crystal clear, providing an ideal environment for sailing and learning activities. The village of Triland is known for its vineyards and wine production, but also for its close connection with Lake Aled. On the northern shore of the lake, the inhabitants of Triland they carry out their farming and fishing activities. Houses in Triland are built of stone and wood, with tiled roofs, and are often decorated with vines climbing the walls. Myrtha, located on the southern shore of the lake, is known for its handicrafts, especially for making small boats. The houses in Myrtha are simpler, built predominantly of wood, and are organized around a small harbor where boats are built and repaired. The streets are full of life, with artisans' workshops and shops that they sell local products. The Hilfima House, also known as the Naledi Boys' House, Hilfilma, is a central place in the education and training of young people for life on the water. On the shores of the lake, every day, dozens of boys gather to receive sailing lessons and construction. Experienced instructors teach young boys how to handle boats on the lake and how to use various types of sails. Lessons include knowledge of winds, currents, and sailing techniques. In addition to practicing on the water, young men learn to read maps and use traditional navigational instruments such as the sextant and compass. Boat building is an art learned with patience and meticulousness. Young people are trained in the selection and processing of wood, the design and assembly of small boats. For the maintenance and construction of larger ships, such as the Ligilda. In the workshops on the shore, the boys learn to use traditional tools and respect the old methods of making boats, passed down from generation to generation. The Erbelia House, also known as the Naledi Girls' House, is dedicated to educating girls and making sails for boats and ships. On the shores of Lake Aled, girls learn to weave and sew the sails needed for sailing. Girls are trained in choosing the right materials, such as linen and hemp, and in weaving techniques and sewing. Lessons include measuring, cutting, and assembling sails, as well as their maintenance. Making sails for ships like the Lilgilda requires great precision and advanced technical knowledge, which the girls acquire through a combination of theory and practice. In addition to practical skills, the girls at Casa Urbelia also learn about the cultural and historical importance of cloth making. They are encouraged to innovate and improve traditional techniques while maintaining respect for ancestral methods. Lake Aled and the activities on its shores make a significant contribution to the local economy. Boats built in Myrtha and sails made in House Urbelia are sold throughout the region, generating income and supporting trade. In addition, fishing and agriculture in Triland and Myrtha are essential economic activities. Activities on the shores of Lake Aled play a crucial role in preserving and passing on the cultural traditions of the Naledi people. Sailing education and boat building, as well as sail making, are more than just practical skills. They are an integral part of the community's cultural identity. The lessons and crafts learned here are passed down from generation to generation, ensuring the continuity of traditions and their adaptation to contemporary needs. Community events, festivals, and ceremonies that take place on the shores of the lake celebrate these traditions and strengthen the bonds between community members. Boat building and the Lilgilda ship. The shores of Lake Aled are places where the young and the elderly interact and collaborate. The elderly are respected for their knowledge and experience, and the young learn from them through observation and active participation. This intergenerational interaction is essential for preserving traditions and ensuring the continuity of the community. On the shores of the lake there are many festivities and ceremonies, which mark important moments in the life of the community. Spring and autumn festivals, initiation ceremonies, and sailing competitions are just some of the events that bring together the people of Triland, Myrtha, and other villages. These events are occasions to celebrate traditions, strengthen social bonds, and encourage young people to develop their skills. Lake Aled and its surroundings are not immune to the challenges brought about by environmental changes, water level variations, seasonal floods, and the impact of human activities on the ecosystem are problems with which the community must face. The Naledi people adopt sustainable practices to protect the natural resources of the lake and to ensure the future of their traditional activities. In addition to preserving traditions, the community on the shores of Lake Aled is open to innovation and modern technology. The use of tools and materials, new developments in boat building and sail making help to improve the efficiency and quality of products. At the same time, modern sailing technologies are integrated into the learning process, ensuring that young people are well prepared for the challenges of contemporary sailing. The future of the community on the shores of Lake Aled is a promising one. Education and the transmission of traditions remain priorities, and the development of infrastructure and educational resources contributes to increasing the quality of life. Environmental protection initiatives and the promotion of sustainable practices will ensure that Lake Aled remains a vital resource for future generations. Lake Aled and the activities carried out on its shores continues to play a central role in the life of the region. Trade, tourism, and cooperation between the villages along the Aled River are essential for economic and cultural prosperity. By preserving traditions and adapting to new realities, the community on the shores of Lake Aled will continue to be a model of resilience and innovation. The shores of Lake Aled are a place where tradition and innovation meet, where young people from Hilfima and Urbelia houses learn essential skills for life on the water and for trade. Here, sailing lessons and boat building, as well as making sails, are transmitted from generation to generation, keeping alive the culture and identity of the Naledi people. With a diversified economy and a strong commitment to environmental protection, the community on the shores of Lake Aled is ready to face the challenges of the future and continue to prosper. On the shores along the river, Naledi children learn to fish and build small boats under the guidance of their parents and wise elders. Community ceremonies and celebrations often take place on the banks of the river, where all breath gathers to celebrate the cycles of nature and the abundance brought by Aled. The Aled River is a complex and vibrant ecosystem full of aquatic and terrestrial life. The fish in the Aled River are diverse and a vital source of food for the community. Convex and green in color, postin, an oval fish like a river perch, and pervinbelia, a large raptor like a catfish, are just some of the fish that populate the river. Also, the Aled River is home to the camelrium, a turtle that lays eggs of green color, a rare and highly valued delicacy. All these creatures contribute to the ecological balance of the river and are protected and respected by the Naledi people, who have a harmonious relationship with nature. Fishing is an essential activity for the Naledi people. Small boats, ruka, skillfully handled by experienced fishermen, cross the river waters in search of the daily catch. Fishing techniques are passed down from generation to generation, and the tools used are made of local materials, adapted to the specifics of the river. The construction and maintenance of boats are sacred and respected activities in the land of Nale. The special wood called tosemde used to build the boats is carefully selected, and each boat is a work of art, made with care and attention to detail. Naledi craftsmen are renowned for their skills, and the construction process involves knowledge and techniques passed down from generation to generation. The boats are carefully maintained, and any breakdowns are repaired immediately to ensure safe and efficient navigation. The sails, made of special linen, are replaced periodically and maintained with the same care and respect. The Aled River is not only a source of food and resources for the Naledi people, but also a vital means of transport and trade. The large sailboats and stately ship enabled the community to expand its horizons and to establish trade links with other lands and communities. The Ligilda ship, loaded with cargo from Nale Land, is an example of a commercial vessel using these waterways. The crossing of the Camelva River takes about 3 days, the time required to navigate its waters to the point where it flows into the Mila Ocean. After leaving the village of Myrtha, the Aled River flows into the Camelva River, which is 70 kilometers, 7 lidik, long until it flows into the ocean Nila. The Camelva River is a major transport and trade artery and is essential to the region's economy. The navigators on the Ligilda ship face significant challenges on the right bank of the Camelva River, where a community of water pirates from the Mibana community lives. These pirates, numbering about 600 people, live from fishing and from attacking commercial ships. They mainly target grain and fruit shipments, essential for the economy of the Nale region. The people of the Mibana community lead a semi-nomadic lifestyle, relying largely on the resources provided by the Camelva River. Fishing is their main economic activity, and their catches are sold in local markets or exchanged for other necessary goods. Piracy practiced by members of the Mibana community has a negative impact on trade on the Camelva River. Frequent attacks on merchant ships resulted in significant losses for merchants in the land of Nale. It also led to the development of increased security measures, including armed escorts for merchant ships. The Mila Ocean, located at a distance of 400 kilometers, 43 lidik, from the confluence of the Aled River with the Camelva River, is the final point of the voyage, the waters of the Aled River. The Mila Ocean is a vast body of water used for international shipping. Its waters are deep and navigable, allowing ships of all sizes to access important ports along the coast. The villages of Nale Land. On the banks of the Aled River stretches a series of 7 villages, each with its own specificity and charm, representing the heart of the Nale Land. The first of these villages, Marillion, is the most important, being the place where the ruling family lives. Downstream of Marillion, at a distance of 50 kilometers, 5 lidik, there are the other 6 villages, each contributing to the diversity and prosperity of the region. The entire community of Naledi counts 8,000 people, of whom 4,000 are children, divided equally between boys and girls. Marillion is the first village upstream and the most important of the 7 villages. It is the administrative and political center of the region, the place where the ruling family of Naledi lives. The history of Marillion is rich and closely related to the formation and development of the Naledi community. The village was founded by the ancestors of the current ruling family, who chose this strategic place due to its advantageous position on the Aled River. Marillion stretches on both banks of the river, with a large and solid bridge connecting the 2 parts of the village. The houses are built of stone and wood, reflecting a traditional architectural style, with high roofs and large windows. The center of the village is dominated by the house of the ruling family, an edifice imposing with observation towers and well-maintained gardens. The village is well organized, with paved streets and spacious squares where fairs and festivals are held. In the center of the village there is also a large public square, where the locals gather to discuss community issues and participate in various social events. Marillion's economy is diversified, based on agriculture, crafts, and trade. Being a central node, the village plays a crucial role in the distribution of goods to the other villages. Agriculture is intensive, with fertile fields of wheat, barley, and vegetables, irrigated by the waters of the river Aled. Craftsmen from Myrtha are famous for their wooden products, textiles, and ceramics, which are sold throughout the region. About 10 kilometers, 1 lidik, downstream from Myrtha is the village Dorim. It is the second largest and most important village, being known for its agricultural and pastoral activity. Dorim is a picturesque village, with beautiful landscapes and a good community. The houses in Dorim are predominantly built of wood, with thatched roofs and large gardens. The streets are narrower and winding, giving the village a rustic and authentic look. In the center of the village there is a small market where the locals sell their products. Economy of Dorim is focused on agriculture and animal husbandry. The surrounding villages rely on the grains and dairy products of Dorim. The pastures around the village are full of herds of Myrtha, a type of sheep but more vigorous and tall, and Sada, a type of cows with blue skin. And the cheeses and butter produced here are highly appreciated throughout the region. Ilarion is about 20 kilometers, 2 lidik, downstream from Myrtha. It is known for its commercial activity and for its crafts. Ilarion is a vibrant village with a diverse community and varied economic activities. The architecture of Ilarion combines traditional styles and external influences, thanks to intense trade. The houses are built of a mixture of stone and wood, often having elaborate decorations. The streets are paved and well maintained, and the center of the village is a busy place, with many shops and craft workshops. Trade is the backbone of Ilarion's economy. The village hosts a large fair once a month, where merchants from all over the region come to sell their wares. Crafts, especially woodworking and metalworking, are highly developed, and Ilarion products are known for their quality. About 30 kilometers, 3 lidik, downstream from Myrtha is the village Orinia, known for fishing and fish processing. Located on the river bank, Orinia takes full advantage of the aquatic resources offered by Aled. Orinia has a linear structure, with the houses lined up along the river. The architecture is simple, with wooden houses and shingle roofs. The village port is well equipped, with docks and fishing boats. Orinia's economy is based on fishing and fish processing. The fish caught in the Aled River it is sold both in Orinia and in the other villages, and fish products, such as canned and smoked fish, are highly appreciated. Also, the village has a small wood processing industry, used in the construction of boats and fishing tools. Triland is located approximately 40 kilometers, 4 lidik, downstream from Myrtha and is known for its intensive agricultural activity and wine production. The village is located in an area with fertile soils, ideal for growing vines and grain. Houses in Triland are mainly built of stone with tiled roofs. The village has an orderly appearance, with wide streets and well-kept gardens. Vineyards surround the village, creating a picturesque landscape. Agriculture and winemaking are the main economic activities in Triland. The wines produced here are known throughout the region for their quality. In addition to wine, Triland also produces a wide range of agricultural products, including wheat, barley, and vegetables. Myrtha, located about 50 kilometers, 5 lidik, downstream from Myrtha, is the last of the 7 villages and is famous for its traditional crafts and commercial activities. Myrtha is a center of crafts, where traditions are preserved and passed on from generation to generation. The architecture of Myrtha reflects a combination of local and foreign influences, thanks to trade. The houses are built of stone and wood, with elaborate decorative details. The streets are paved and full of life, with many workshops and shops. Crafts are the main economic pillar of Myrtha. Handicrafts, textiles, tools, and jewelry are produced here, all of exceptional quality. Trade is also very active, Myrtha being an important distribution point for handicraft products from the entire region. The community of Nale consists of 8,000 people, of which 4,000 are children, divided equally between boys and girls. The women in the Nale Land give birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Each village has a well-defined social structure, with extended families that collaborate closely for the well-being of the community. Each village has a local council made up of family leaders and community representatives. These councils work closely with the ruling family of Myrtha to ensure the efficient governance of the region. Important decisions are made by consensus, and the community is characterized by a strong sense of solidarity and cooperation. Education is very important to the Naledi people. Every village has a school where the children learn not only practical skills and crafts, but also cultural and historical values. The children went to school until 14 years old. After this age, the children moved to the boys' Hilfema, and girls' Rebelia homes. The traditions are transmitted orally and through the festivities and rituals that mark community life. Naledi culture is rich and diverse, reflecting the multiple influences of trade and interactions with other peoples. Festivals, dances, and music are an integral part of community life, and each village contributes its own traditions unique to the region's cultural mosaic. The 7 villages along the Aled River represent the essence of Naledi life and culture. From Marillion, the administrative and political center, to Myrtha, renowned for its crafts, each village contributes to the richness and diversity of the region. Through a combination of agriculture, trade, crafts, and fishing, these villages have created a robust economy and a vibrant culture. Home of Naledi girls, Relia. After they reached the age of 14, the Naledi girls moved to a special house where their mothers taught them the secrets of life and the traditions of their community. This house was a sacred place where the women shared their experiences and teachings, preparing them on the girls for their roles as future mothers and wives. Here, they learned the art of weaving, embroidery, cooking, and other crafts, but also the values of respect, loyalty, and love that were the basis of their community. The mothers were the mentors and guides of the young women, sharing in their wisdom and experience to help them grow and develop into strong and wise women. They spent a lot of time mentoring their daughters and giving them the support and encouragement they needed on their journey to adulthood. In the Naledi Women's House, the girls learned not only household crafts, but also the values and traditions of their community. They learned to respect nature and its creatures, to value family and community ties, and to fulfill their roles with dignity and respect. Mothers' teachings were invaluable and were passed down from generation to generation, ensuring the continuity and cohesion of the Nale community. With the support and guidance of their mothers, the girls learned to be strong and determined, to follow their dreams and carve their own path in life. In the home of the Naledi women, the teachings were much deeper than simple training in home crafts or observance of community traditions. Here, under the careful guidance of mothers and elders, girls learned to understand the subtle difference between love for community and nature and love for their husband and family. Naledi girls were educated still from an early age in the fundamental values of their community. They were taught to respect and love the nature around them, to value every living creature, and to connect deeply with the environment. At the same time, they were taught to assume responsibilities towards the family and community, to be loyal and to contribute to the common good. One of the most important aspects that the girls learned in the Naledi Women's House was to distinguish between their love for the community and their love for their family. They learned that love for community and nature was an expression of their connection to the world around them, and responsibility towards it was a sacred duty they had towards all the inhabitants of their land. At the same time, they learned that love for their husband and their family was an intimate and deep bond based on trust, respect, and devotion. The Naledi girls learned that the balance and harmony between love of community and love of family was essential to their happiness and well-being. They understood that their responsibility to the community should not prevent them from fulfilling their roles as devoted wives and mothers, and that love and loyalty towards the family should not make them forget their responsibilities towards those around them. In the home of the Naledi women, learning the craft of weaving was of particular importance. The girls were taught to value and use the flax, megal, gathered by themselves from the surrounding fields. In particular, there was a linen with a special luster, prepared and woven by the elders of Nale Land, which was used to make the dresses worn by girls and women. From an early age, Naledi girls were introduced to the secrets of the weaving craft. They learned to prepare the linen, spin it, and weave it into delicate and refined fabrics. Under the guidance of their mothers and elders, they perfected their skills and mastered advanced weaving techniques, preparing to become accomplished craftswomen. Within the home to the Naledi women, there was a linen with a special shine, which was considered particularly valuable. This linen was carefully prepared by the elders of the Nale Land, who gave it a special shine and finesse. The megal thread was interwoven with the very fine gold thread produced by the Pondagana insect, an insect as big as a rabbit, from the Myrtha forest. The girls were taught to value and use this linen with care and respect to create the most beautiful and elegant dresses. The Naledi girls used their skill and creativity to create dresses that showcased their natural beauty and elegance. They carefully chose their patterns and colors, and then applied their weaving skills to make the desired dresses. In these dresses, worn with pride and dignity, Naledi girls and women shone like true queens in the midst of their community. The weaving craft, it was an old and respected tradition within the Naledi community, which was passed down from generation to generation. The girls were proud to carry on this tradition and share their knowledge and skills with their descendants. Thus, the craft of weaving was not only an art form, but a symbol of unity and continuity in the Naledi community. Through the teachings they received in the Naledi Women's House, the girls were prepared to build fulfilling and responsible lives, in which they could find a balance between their responsibilities to the community and love for family. They learned that happiness and personal satisfaction could only be achieved by finding a harmony between these two aspects of their lives and by living in accordance with the values and principles taught in their home. After the age of 19, the girls would complete their training in the home, rebelia, and return home to their families. These women, especially beautiful and wise, gave birth to 2 children each, a boy and a girl. Within the Naledi community, marriage was a moment of great importance and joy. Each girl looked forward to the day when she had to become a wife and mother. After the wedding ceremony, the women started their family life and gave birth to 2 children each, a boy and a girl, thus contributing to the perpetuation of their bloodline and the unity of the community. As the Naledi girls became mature women and founded their own families, they always remembered the teachings and traditions handed down by their mothers. They were proud to continue their cultural heritage and share their values and teachings with their descendants, thus ensuring the continuity and cohesion of their community. Conclusion. The Naledi Women's Home was a sacred place where girls learned to become strong and wise women, preparing for their roles as mothers and wives within their community. With their mother's support and guidance, they established their own families and helped perpetuate and strengthening the traditions and values of the Naledi community. Naledi Boys' Home, Hilfima. The Nale boys' tradition of moving into the boys' house at the age of 14 was an old and respected one in their community. This represented an important step in their maturation and learning, giving them the opportunity to develop their skills and knowledge in various fields, as well as to assume responsibilities and roles within the community. Once at the boys' home, the Nale youths were introduced to the secrets of agriculture and horticulture. They learned to cultivate the land and take care of the plants to provide food for the community. They were gaining practical skills in areas such as horse riding and fishing, learning the techniques needed to manage in the natural environment. During their stay at the boys' home, the Nale youths learned to make various objects and tools using the materials available in nature. They learned the art of making swords and other weapons, but also other household or personal items, learning to be skilled and masters in crafts. Another essential aspect of their stay at the boys' home was the acquisition of the fundamental values of community and family. The Nale youth were taught to love and respect their community, to be loyal and supportive of those around them, and to take responsibility for contributing to its well-being. They were also instructed to know and respect their family, to honor their parents, and to help their brothers and sisters. The 5 years spent at the boys' home were a time of transition and formation for the Nale youth. They were discovering and developing their skills and passions, and preparing to become active and contributing members of their community. During this period, they were guided and encouraged by the older men of the community, who offered advice and guidance on their way to adulthood. Once they reached the age of 19, Nale youths were ready to return to their families as men in all their nature. They brought with them the experiences and learnings accumulated during their stay at the boys' home, and they were ready to assume the roles and responsibilities that belonged to them within the community and their family. But the strongest impact on the young Naledi would be the visit at Erbwa Strumbletoe's smithy, where they learned how to make the Shera sword. The making of Shera swords from baldas, a material known only to a few Naledi, the rulers, brought from a cave in the Myrtha forest, was a complex and fascinating process. These swords were considered works of art. being both effective weapons and objects of beauty and prestige in the Ledi culture. To begin the process of making Shera swords, it was necessary to extract the baldas from the Atabi cave in the Myrtha forest. The cave was a mysterious and dangerous place, and extracting this material was a delicate and risky task. The baldas was deep in the ground, and skilled and brave miners had to extract it with great care, avoiding rockfalls and other dangers. Once it was brought to the surface, the baldas was processed in the workshop blacksmith Stumbleto. This process involved cleaning and polishing the material to give it a smooth and even surface. The blacksmith used special tools and traditional techniques to shape and carve the baldas into the desired shape for Shera swords. After processing, the baldas was heated to extreme temperatures in the blacksmith's furnace, preparing it for forging. While the material was still hot and malleable, the blacksmith skillfully and precisely shaped it into the specific shape of the Shera sword blade. This was an essential stage where the talent and skill of the craftsman blacksmiths were put to the test. After forging, the blade of the sword was subjected to the tempering process, in which it was heated and then rapidly cooled to give it strength and durability. The blade was then carefully sharpened and finished, removing any imperfections or roughness and leaving it smooth and shiny. Once the blade was finished, it was time to be inlaid and decorated to give it the distinctive appearance of Shera swords. Each sword was inlaid with the name of the fighter and the wielder, and the family he belongs to. The blacksmith used precious metals and other high-quality materials to create intricate patterns and designs on the hilt and guard of the sword. These details gave the sword an elegant and special appearance, reflecting the craftsmanship and aesthetic taste of. Finally, the sword was finished and carefully polished to enhance its luster and give it a flawless finish. Every detail was checked and adjusted, and the sword was ready to be delivered and fulfill its purpose, whether as a combat weapon. Baldacil, a precious and versatile mineral, was mined from Atabi cave in the Myrtha forest and turned into useful and decorative products in the workshop of blacksmith Stumbleto. This material played an essential role in the life and economy of the land of Nale, contributing to the construction of boats and ships, as well as local houses and prestigious weapons such as the Shera sword. Atabi cave, located deep in the Myrtha forest, was known for the rich deposits of baldas. The Myrtha forest, with its towering trees and lush vegetation, hid this natural treasure, protected for centuries by wild nature and the inhabitants who respected and revered the forest's resources. Baldas extraction was a meticulous and dangerous process that required specialized knowledge and appropriate equipment. Stumbleto, a renowned blacksmith in the land of Nale, was renowned for his craftsmanship and innovation in metalworking. His workshop was a hub of intense activity, where the fire of the forge burned unceasingly, turning raw baldas into refined and useful products. And his team of skilled blacksmiths used traditional techniques combined with innovative methods to process the baldas. Their work involved heating the mineral to high temperatures, shaping and hammering it into the desired shape, and gradually cooling it to ensure its durability and strength. Baldas was essential in the construction of the Rodak and Ruka boats, as well as the Lilgilda ship, the symbol of naval craftsmanship in Nale. Its unique properties, such as corrosion resistance and durability, made it ideal for critical components of these ships, such as nails, anchors, and other parts of metal. Stumbleto and his team ensured that every piece machined from the baldas was of the highest quality, contributing to the safety and efficiency of navigation. Outside of the shipbuilding industry, the baldas was also used in the construction of houses in the land of Nale. The inhabitants valued the durability and the beauty of this material, which was used to make door and window hardware, balustrades, and other decorative and structural elements. Each piece was carefully crafted by the blacksmiths in workshop, ensuring that they combined aesthetics with functionality. Another outstanding product of workshop was the sword Shera. A symbol of power and honor in Nale, baldas was worked with great craftsmanship to create this legendary weapon, known for its exceptional strength and sharpness. Himself supervised every stage of the forging, from the selection of the baldas pieces to the finishing and decoration of the sword. The Shera was not only a weapon, but also a work of art, reflecting the tradition and culture of the people of Nale. Erbwa Stumbletoe's workshop in the land of Nale was a place of innovation and craftsmanship, where the Adobe cave baldasis was transformed into essential and prestigious products. From the construction of boats and ships to the making of local houses and the Shera sword, the baldas worked in this workshop had a profound impact on the life and economy of the region. The dedicated work of the blacksmiths, led by Erbwa, ensured not only the quality, but also the continuity of the traditions and values of the people of Nale. Myrtha's Forest. Myrtha Forest in the land of Nale Land was a charming and mysterious place, combining natural beauty with magical elements in perfect harmony. In the heart of the forest, huge trees rose to the sky, forming a dense canopy of leaves that filtered the sunlight and created a fascinating play of shadows and lights. Between the intertwined branches of the trees, the vines twirled like nimble snakes, giving a picturesque and mysterious aspect to the whole landscape. At night, the Myrtha forest took on a fairy tale aura, when magical creatures appeared among the leaves dark. The mimosa fireflies glowed in their brilliant green, creating a charming and enchanting atmosphere. At the same time, the pandagana, an insect as large as a rabbit, with its blue light, seemed to traverse the entire forest like a beacon in the dark, offering guidance and protection to those who ventured into this nocturnal world. This insect represented the greatest wealth of the Nale Land because wherever it passed it left behind a shining golden thread that was used to weave the clothes of the people of the land. Once every 5 years pandagana it gave birth to a new offspring by making an egg from which a female emerged, after which it died. These insects had no life partner. The leaves and soft grass underfoot emanated an inviting and invigorating smell, and the air was full of the chirping of birds and the flight of insects. In the tops of the trees, the birds sang charming songs, and on the banks of the rivers and lakes, the frogs sang in a delightful chorus. But the forest of Myrtha was not only a world of light and harmonious sounds, but also a treasure of tastes and aromas. Berries were ubiquitous, growing in rich, sprawling bushes. Loda blackberries, with their sweet sour taste, attracted visitors with their inviting aroma, while hardgreen, strawberry-like, and mabras, raspberry-like, they combined in an explosion of flavor and freshness. The rollia, similar to currants, with their dark hues, offered a subtle and refreshing note in the culinary landscape of the forest. But the most precious fruit of the forest was the farico, similar to a mango as huge as a pumpkin, which only grew deep in the forest, hidden among the thick and dark leaves. Its sweet and fragrant aroma intoxicated the senses of those who had the privilege to discover and taste it, offering them an unforgettable culinary experience. Overall, the Myrtha forest was a fascinating and charming world. The towering trees, such as megal, it can reach heights of up to 50 meters and has a thick and straight trunk, and the tosemda tree is another towering tree, less tall than megal. But just as important, its wood is flexible and durable, making it ideal for building boats and structural elements that require a certain elasticity. The broad leaves of the tosemda create a dense canopy, providing shade and protection to the soil below. They are not just natural elements impressive, but also essential materials for the construction of the 7 villages, the Rodak and Ruka boats, and the Lilgilda ship. Myrtha Forest is located in the heart of Nale Land. Stretching over a vast area covering hills, valleys and plains, the forest, providing fresh water and a varied habitat for numerous species. The banks of the river are often covered with dense vegetation, and the meadows around it are ideal places for various human and animal activities. Vegetable gardens, Ruma. In the land of Nale, there were endless fields of vegetables of various types, each of them being a wonderful expression of the beauty and fertility of the land. In these fields, colors and aromas interwoven in a harmonious dance, and among these natural wonders they learned some special vegetables, with a more unusual color, blue. The ladrita was a blue tomato, with a deep and bright blue juice, which opened like a hidden treasure. The ruba was a blue onion, with a delicate and sweet flavor, which added a touch of mystery and magic to any dish. Hilros was a blue garlic that spread a strong and aromatic fragrance in the surrounding air, and Isumgila was a blue cabbage, crunchy and delicious, that delighted the senses with every bite. While the sun shone above the plains, Amla and its inhabitants worked hard to grow their crops and ensure the prosperity and well-being of their community. Each vegetable was treated with care and respect, and each harvest was a blessing to all in the land of Nale. But not only vegetables were a gift of nature. In the land of Nale. In the depths of the earth, the river Aled flowed quietly, bringing with it a bright blue water that nourished and gave life to the entire region. This blue water was a source of life for all plants and animals in the land of Nale, and its inhabitants treasured it. And they respected her with all their hearts. Amidst this idyllic and charming landscape, Amla Whitfoot shone as a beacon of hope and confidence for its inhabitants. With her wisdom and unwavering determination, she guided the people of Nale Land to the path of prosperity and harmony, ensuring that all lived in peace and understanding. There were vast plains of orchards of fruit trees, which shone in the bright morning sun like endless treasures. Each tree was a wonderful expression of the beauty and richness of nature, and each fruit was a delight to the senses of those who looked at and savored them. In the midst of these orchards, growing in all their splendor, were several species of fruits with aromas and tastes special, each of them bringing uniqueness and magic to the land of Nale. Pamlica was a plum variety with a blue juice that delighted the senses with its sweet and intense aroma. Holma were blue-skinned apples, crisp and delicious, that offered an explosion of flavors and aromas in every bite. Sarafota were cherries with blue juice that melted in the mouth and spread a divine sweetness in every bite. Maraca were pears with blue skin that delighted the senses with their subtle and refreshing aroma. And then there was Ogilda, a special type of blue-colored avocado that offered a delicate creaminess and unique flavor. While the people of Nale worked hard to tend and cultivate their orchards, Amla Whitfoot carefully watched over them, making sure that every tree was treated with respect and love, and that every harvest was a blessing to everyone in the land. Every morning, Amla walked through the orchards, admiring the beauty and richness of nature and acknowledging the blessings they received from the land and from in the sun. She encouraged its inhabitants to tend their orchards with love and devotion, and to enjoy the gifts that nature offered them. With each harvest, the inhabitants of the land of Nale gathered to celebrate and share joy and gratitude to the gifts they received from the land and nature. Together they enjoyed the wonderful aromas and tastes of their fruits, and enjoyed the company and camaraderie of those around them. As the days passed and turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the land of Nale shone in all its splendor and beauty. Under the loving and wise leadership of Amla Whitfoot, life moved forward at a harmonious and peaceful pace, and its inhabitants lived in peace and understanding, surrounded by the beauty and richness of nature that surrounded them. In the land of Nale, where the beauty of nature blended harmoniously with ancient traditions and rural life, animals were an integral part of the enchanting landscape of the region. Among these fascinating creatures were animals with a blue-purple hue, which were considered a symbol of magic and mystery in the land. Satta was a special type of blue-skinned cow with velvety fur and sparkling eyes. These cows were protected and prized for their rich and nourishing milk, which had a slight purple hue and was considered a special delicacy in the land of Nale. The inhabitants carefully cared for their cows, ensuring they were said to have everything they needed to be healthy and happy. The Peora was another special animal from Nale Land, similar to a donkey, which was used for hard work in the fields and for transporting goods. With a gentle and industrious temperament, Peora was a trusted partner to farmers in the region, helping them to complete their work in the fields and transport their crops safely. Myrtha was a kind of sheep, but taller and more vigorous, with a silky fur and bright eyes. These sheep were prized for their fine and particularly durable wool, which was used to make clothing and textiles in the land of Nale. The inhabitants carefully cared for their sheep, ensuring that they had rich pastures and fresh water from the Aled River to feed and hydrate properly. The Ivica was a goat-like creature with blue-purple milk and a subtle hue to its fur. These goats were prized for their rich, nourishing milk, which was considered a true gift of nature in the land of Nale. Residents carefully cared for their goats, ensuring that they were properly fed and cared for to produce high-quality milk. While the blue-hued animals brought charm and magic in the land of Nale, they were also a source of sustenance and prosperity for its inhabitants. With care and respect, they cared for their animals and valued them for the gifts they offered, recognizing their importance in their daily lives. and in economy of the region. As the days passed and turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, life moved forward at a peaceful and harmonious pace in the land of Nale. Animals and humans lived together in peace and understanding, sharing the joy and richness of nature that surrounding and acknowledging the blessings they had in their lives. In the land of Nale, the underwater world of the Aled River was as fascinating and mysterious as the one above it. The sky-blue water of the river was home to a variety of fish with remarkable shapes and colors, each bringing uniqueness and beauty to its ecosystem. Ilga was a kind of diamond-shaped fish with a bright red color, thanks to the grasses on the bottom of the lake, which gave it a vibrant and attractive appearance. These fish lived in small groups, navigating among shoals of grasses and feeding on algae and small water organisms. The Ilga were skilled predators, who quickly hid in the dense vegetation of the river to catch their prey. The Adiphyra was a predatory pike-like fish with a convex shape and deep green color. These agile predators patrolled the waters of the Aled River in search for prey, using their agility and camouflage to approach their victims unnoticed. The Adiphyra were formidable hunters, and their presence in the river added an element of excitement and danger to the lives of the other water inhabitants. The poston was a type of fish oval, similar to a river perch, with a silver color and blue spots on the back. These fish were omnivorous, feeding on algae, insects, and larvae from the river bottom. Poston were the preferred prey of many river predators, but their ability to hide and adapt to their environment gave them a chance of survival in the face of Pervenbelia was a large predator, similar to a catfish, but with an elongated shape and vibrant colors, with spots of vivid shades of blue and purple. These fish were feared and respected by other inhabitants of the water. Due to their size and strength, the Pervenbelia were solitary hunters who patrolled the depths of the river in search of prey, and their presence commanded respect and admiration. The Camelrium was an imposing turtle with a robust shell and green eggs that were carefully laid by the females of the species on the banks of the Aled River. These turtles were symbols of longevity and stability in the river ecosystem, and their eggs were considered a rare and prized delicacy by the inhabitants of the Nale Land. In the bright blue waters of the Aled River, life was vibrant and full of activity, and each species of fish added a distinct and fascinating element to this complex ecosystem. Under the loving and wise leadership of Amla Whitfoot, life in the River Aled and throughout the Nale Land continued to shine in all its splendor and diversity. Birim Land. The Birim Land, located on the Iden Mountain, is a region of wild beauty and remarkable harshness. In the Iden Mountain, the Aled River has its sources, which passes through the Nale Land, flows into the Camelva River, passes through the Mibana Land, which is known as the place where the Carandal pirates sail and hide. At the exit from the land of Mibana, it forms an estuary, after which it flows into the Mila Ocean. Its leadership is ensured by Halria Goodings and her wife, Moscow Fairbairn, who govern this mountainous territory with wisdom and courage. This description explores the geography and climate of Birim, its natural resources and the way of life of its inhabitants, emphasizing the stark contrast with the land of Nale. Mount Iden is a giant of nature, dominating the landscape of Birim with its snowy peaks and steep slopes. This is not only a geographical landmark, but also a symbol of the resistance and toughness of its inhabitants. The mountains are covered by dense forests at lower altitudes, while at higher altitudes bare rocks and shining glaciers predominate. The climate of Birim is marked by long and severe winters, with heavy snowfall and temperatures that often drop below freezing. Summers are short and cool, offering few moments of warmth and comfort. This harsh climate imposes on the inhabitants a hard and adaptable way of life, where preparing for winter is a crucial activity on throughout the year. One of the most important resources of Birim are the herds of boko, wild animals similar to buffaloes. These herds roam freely on the slopes of Mount Iden and in the surrounding forests, being a vital source of meat, leather, and other materials for the inhabitants. Boko hunting is a dangerous activity, but essential for the survival of the community. Due to the cold climate and rocky soils, the land of Birim is not suitable for growing grains and fruits. This means that the inhabitants have to import these products from more fertile regions, such as Nale, or develop alternatives such as hunting and herding. This dependence on external resources profoundly influences the economy and lifestyle of the Birim. Halria Goodings. The ruler of the Birim is a respected and feared leader, known for his determination and ability to navigate the harsh challenges of Mount Iden. Under his leadership, the land of Birim remained independent and strong, maintaining its traditions and values in the face of economic and climatic difficulties. Moscow Fairbairn, Hauria's wife, is a strong and intelligent partner who plays a crucial role in governing Birim. She is known for her wisdom and diplomatic skills, often mediating internal and external conflicts. Together, Hauria and Moscow form a duo of leaders capable of maintaining the unity and resilience of the people of Birim. One of the most obvious contrasts between Nale and Birim lands is the natural landscape. While the Laura flower plains of Nale are full of vibrant colors and enchanting smells, the Iden Mountains of Birim land are characterized by steep cliffs, eternal snows, and sparse vegetation. This difference in scenery also reflects the different ways of life and challenges faced by the inhabitants of the two regions. The temperate climate of Nale allows the cultivation of a wide variety of crops, from cereals and vegetables to vines and fruit trees, ensuring the agricultural prosperity of the region. In contrast, the cold climate and harsh environment of Birim imposes a lifestyle based on hunting and herding, where every resource must be managed with great care to ensure the survival of the community. In Nale, agriculture is the foundation of the economy and way of life. The fertile plains, the vine-covered hills and orchards full of fruit provide abundant food and provide a comfortable living for the inhabitants. In Birim, however, the inhabitants must rely on boko hunting and herding to survive. Adapting to the harsh conditions of Mount Iden requires special skills and knowledge, passed down from generation to generation. Both regions have rich but different traditions and cultures. In Nale, agricultural festivals, flower festivals, and wine rituals are central events, celebrating abundance and beauty. Nature. In the Birim, traditions center around hunting, survival, and resilience. Initiation ceremonies for young hunters, festivals dedicated to mountain gods, and protection rituals are central to the community's identity. Economic relations between Nale and Birim are complex, marked by interdependence and tensions. Nale provides vital grains and fruits to the Birim, while Birim provides the inhabitants of the Nale land with boko hides and other products obtained from hunting. This mutual dependence can lead to collaboration, but also to conflict, especially in times of crisis. History of relations between Nale and Birim is strewn with conflicts, but also with strategic alliances. The different living conditions and resources generated disputes, but also opportunities for cooperation. The leaders of the two regions, Hauria Goodings and Moscow Fairbairn of Birim, and the leaders of Nale, often had to mediate these complex relationships in order to maintain peace and stability. Birim land is a region of wild beauty and remarkable harshness. The stark contrasts between Birim land and Nale land emphasize the natural and cultural diversity of their worlds. While Nale enjoys fertile plains, temperate climate, and agricultural abundance, Birim is characterized by harsh mountain landscapes, cold climate, and a way of life based on hunting and herding. These differences create a complex interdependence between the two regions, in which cooperation and conflict are integral parts of their history and identity. The conflict between the land of Nale and the land of Birim. The historical conflicts between the lands of Nale and Birim are marked by dramatic and violent events, and the bloodiest of them was spawned by a precious stone called Myrtha. The fathers of the current rulers, Hauria Goodings and Moscow Fairbairn of Birim, and the rulers of Nale, were the protagonists of this conflict. Next we will explore in detail the context, unfolding, and consequences of the battle for Myrtha, a pearl of evil beauty and power, and how which these events shaped the current relations between the two regions. Myrtha was a precious pearl of extraordinary brilliance, which was said to possess evil powers. According to legend, Myrtha could grant its possessor immense power, but also had the ability to bring misfortune and disaster. The pearl was considered both a symbol of authority as well as a curse, and its possession was the main cause of the conflict between Nale and Birim. The rulers of Nale, the parents of the current leaders, were respected and loved by their people. They ruled a prosperous and peaceful region, where agriculture and trade ensured the well-being of the inhabitants. However, the desire to protect Myrtha and the fear of her evil power put them in a vulnerable position. Her parents Halria Goodings and Moscow Fairbairn of Birim were tough and ambitious leaders, determined to obtain Myrtha to consolidate their power and to secure the supremacy of the Birim. The Iden Mountains, with their harsh climate and limited resources, caused them to constantly seek means to improve their situation and protect their community. The conflict was sparked by the Birim's desire to obtain Myrtha, which the rulers of Nale considered a priceless treasure, but also a curse. On a fateful night, the troops of Birim, led by the parents of Halria and Moscow, attacked the village of Marillion, where Myrtha was hidden. The Battle of Marillion was one of the bloodiest confrontations in the history of the two regions. The soldiers of Birim, known for their courage and endurance, attacked furiously, determined to seize Myrtha. The rulers of Nale tried to defend the village and their treasure, but their forces were outmatched. During the battle, the rulers of Nale were killed, leaving their region leaderless and causing a deep crisis. Their deaths were a devastating blow to the people of Nale, who lost not only their leaders, but also part of their identity and safety. After the conflict, young people Halria Goodings and Moscow Fairbairn took over the leadership of Birim. Being witnesses and participants in the bloody events in Nale, new leaders were needed to rebuild the region and restore order and the trust of the people. These new leaders had to navigate the legacy left by their fathers and face the challenges posed by the loss of Myrtha and the old rulers. Relations between Nale and Birim remained tense and complex. The bloody conflict left deep scars and created a chasm of distrust and resentment between the two regions. Trade and collaboration were essential for survival, but the memory of violence and betrayal made these relationships fragile and always at risk of falling apart. After the conflict, the legend of Myrtha grew even stronger. Many believed that the stone was indeed cursed, bringing destruction and death to those who tried to possess it. The possession of Myrtha continued to be a taboo subject and a source of fear and superstition in both regions. Nale had to rebuild his community and infrastructure after the devastation caused by the attack. Reconstruction efforts included rebuilding the village of Marillion, restoring order and restoring confidence in the new leaders. Agriculture, trade and daily activities resumed, but the memory of the conflict remained alive. The land of Mibana. The problem faced by the sailors of the Lilgilda ship while sailing on the Kamelva River is emblematic of the complexity of the relationships between riverine communities and water pirates. The right bank of the river was inhabited by the Mibana community, a group of pirates organized into 5 villages: Ildanari, Eldarim, Naloria, Milvana and Karandal. Despite the fact that these villages based their economy on fishing, piracy had become a common activity, disrupting the trade and daily life of the region. The Kamelva River, with a length of 70 kilometers, 7 lidik, is an essential waterway that connects various communities and facilitates the transportation of goods. The right bank of the river, where the community of Mibana is located, is characterized by a series of fishing villages strategically placed to maximize access to aquatic resources. The community of Mibana has a history long marked by adaptation to environmental conditions and available resources. Initially, the inhabitants relied exclusively on fishing, developing advanced techniques and a deep knowledge of the waters of the Kamelvia. However, the growth of river trade and the appearance of merchant ships, such as the Lilgilda, created opportunities for piracy. Over time, piracy has become a secondary activity, but essential for the survival and prosperity of the community. Fishing remains the main economic activity in the villages of Ildanari, Eldarim, Naloria, Milvana and Karandal. Residents use a variety of fishing techniques, including nets, fishing rods and underwater traps. The catch is sold in the local markets, but most of it is sold to Port Tuckborough, the main urban center of Boring's Land, via the Lilgilda ship that comes from Nale Land, once a month, or exchanged for other goods needed through trade with Birim Land. Piracy, although illegal and dangerous, has become an important source of income for the Mibana community. Motivations for engaging in piracy range from economic necessity to opportunism. Navigators on merchant ships, such as the Lilgilda, often carry valuable cargo such as grain and fruit, which makes them attractive targets for pirates. Attacks are meticulously planned and executed quickly, minimizing risks to pirates and maximizing profits. Piracy on the Camelva River causes significant economic losses to traders and communities in the region. The loss of transported goods, the costs of additional security, and the disruption of trade flows negatively affects the local economy. Also, the constant insecurity on the river discourages investment and economic development. In addition to the economic impact, piracy also influences the social and cultural dynamics of the region. Tensions between the trading communities and the pirates create a climate of mistrust and hostility. In addition, the traditions and values of the Mbana community are often stigmatized due to their association with pirate activities. The Ligilda ship is a representative example of the merchant ships that cross the Camelva River. Loaded with cargo from the land of Nale, Ligilda plays a crucial role in transporting agricultural goods and other products between riverside communities and more distant markets. Navigation on the Camelva River is essential to maintaining the flow of goods and the economic sustainability of the region. Navigators on the Ligilda ship face multiple challenges during their journeys. In addition to navigating an often unpredictable river, they must always be vigilant against pirate attacks. The pirates of the Mbana community are known for their quick and efficient approaches, leaving little time for reaction. The crew must be well prepared and coordinated to defend itself and minimize losses in case of attack. Ildunari is the first village on the right bank of the Camelva River and serves as a reference point for the Mbana community. Fishing is the main economic activity, but Ildunari is also a center for organizing pirate raids. Local leaders plan attacks and coordinate pirate actions to ensure the success and safety of attack teams. Eldarim is known for its abundance of fish catches, but also for its significant involvement in piracy activities. Here, pirates use small, fast vessels to intercept merchant ships. Eldarim has a reputation as an aggressive and well-organized village in terms of piracy, often being the starting point for major raids. Naloria is distinguished by its commercial activities. In addition to fishing, the inhabitants of Naloria deal with the exchange of goods and services. Piracy, although present, is less frequent than in Eldarim or Ildunari. However, pirates in Naloria are known for their inventive methods of attack and ability to hide effectively in the local landscape. Movana is a picturesque village with a close-knit community based on fishing and agriculture. Although piracy is not the main economic activity, Movana residents are often involved in raids due to their proximity to trade routes. Movana pirates are rather opportunistic, taking advantage of opportunities to attack when they present themselves. Located along the Camelva River, it is the fourth of the Mbana community. It is a remarkable community for its distinct economic and cultural activities. Known for the cultivation of reeds and cane, such as and for fish farming and the production of black moray roe, Movana is an example of adaptation to the natural environment and efficient use of local resources. The women of Movana, small in stature and with black eyes, play an essential role in the local economy, buying grain from the ship Ligilda and selling spawn. Movana is strategically located on the right bank of the Camelva River, which gives it easy access to water, a crucial factor for the village's economic activities. The fertile soils along the river are ideal for farming reeds, and the rich waters of the Camelva are perfect for fish farming. The climate in Movana is temperate, with warm summers and mild winters, favorable conditions for both agriculture and aquaculture. The Camelva River provides a constant supply of fresh water, essential for reed and cane crops, as well as maintaining fish health. Reed and cane are major crops in Movana, used for a variety of purposes. Reed is often used for roof construction, basket weaving, and paper production. Another part is used to make mats, braids, and construction materials. Cultivation of reeds involves traditional methods passed down from generation to generation. Farmers in Movana prepare the land through irrigation canals, making sure that the plants have enough water. Harvesting it is done by hand, and further processing of the materials requires specialized skills. The reed and cane economy contributes significantly to the village's income. Reed and cane products are sold in local and regional markets, generating important income for the community. These products are valued for their quality and for their aesthetic and functional value. Movana is famous for its fish cultures, especially for moray eel, from which black roe is produced of superior quality. Black moray eel roe, also known as caviar, is a luxury product highly sought after in local and international markets. Fish farms are maintained in specially constructed tanks, which allow strict control of water and feeding conditions. Mylvana residents use advanced aquaculture techniques to ensure optimal fish health and growth. Extraction process: the production of roe requires special skill, and village women are often the ones who take care of this delicate activity. Black maroon roe is sold in luxury markets, where it is appreciated for its taste and quality. Mylvana has developed commercial relationships with various partners, including the merchants on the ship Lilgilda, from whom the village women buy grain in exchange for caviar. The small, black-eyed women of Mylvana are a distinct and important presence in the community. They play a crucial role in economic activities of the village. From the cultivation of reeds and cane to the processing and marketing of black moray roe, the women are actively involved in the aquaculture process, ensuring that the fish are well cared for and that the roe is properly extracted and prepared for sale. Their skills, meticulous care, and traditional knowledge contribute to maintaining the quality of Mylvana products. In addition to being involved in production, the women of Mylvana are often responsible for commercial activities. They negotiate with the merchants on the Lilgilda ship, buying grain needed to feed the community and selling black maroon roe to generate income. Their negotiation skills and trade relations well established are essential for the local economy. Life in Mylvana is marked by a harmonious combination of economic activities and cultural traditions. The inhabitants are closely connected to nature and the resources of the Camelva River, and the community is characterized by close cooperation and a deep respect for traditions. The villagers of Mylvana organize various community events that reflect local traditions and strengthen social ties. Reed and cane harvesting festivals, as well as celebrations related to the moran fishing, are important occasions for the community. These events not only celebrate work and economic success, but it also provides opportunities for socializing and strengthening interpersonal relationships. Mylvana traditions and customs are carefully preserved and passed down from generation to generation. Every aspect of life, from reed and cane cultivation methods to caviar processing, is accompanied by rituals and traditional practices that reflect the cultural heritage of the village. Women play a central role in maintaining and passing on traditions. They learn from their mothers and grandmothers the techniques of reed and cane processing, as well as the secrets of caviar processing. Women are also the who organize and conduct many of the community's rituals and celebrations. The Lilgilda ship is a vital element in the economic life of Mylvana. It serves as the main means of transportation for grain and other necessary goods, as well as a distribution channel for the black moran roe produced in the village. The commercial relationship between Mylvana and the ship Lilgilda is characterized by interdependence. The women of Mylvana buy grain from the ship, thus providing the necessary food for the community. In return, they sell the black maroon roe, generating important income for the village. This commercial relationship is essential to the economic well-being of both parties. The relationship with the Lilgilda ship is vital to the village's economy, ensuring access to grain and providing a market for black moray roe. Despite challenges, such as piracy on the Camelva River, Mylvana has significant opportunities to economic development through the diversification of activities and the adoption of sustainable practices. Carandal is the last village of the Mibana community before the Camelva flows into the Mila Ocean. Here, fishing is predominant, but piracy plays a crucial role in the local economy. Carandal is known for its naval prowess, with the inhabitants being experts in building and handling fast boats. The pirates of Carandal are known for their sophisticated tactics and success in raiding merchant ships. Pirates of Carandal. The village of Carandal, located on the right bank of the Camelva River, is known in the region for its piracy activities. These pirates have become a constant threat to merchant ships sailing the river, including the ship Lilgilda. Led by their charismatic and feared leader, Malfred, and alongside his lover, Huma, the Carandal pirates have turned ship attacks into an art of survival and enrichment. Their ship, called the Myrtha Gold, is the symbol of their power and influence on the Camelva River. Malfred was born into a family of fishermen from Carandal, but difficult circumstances and a lack of economic opportunities pushed him towards a life of piracy. His strategic intelligence and natural charisma helped him quickly rise through the ranks of the pirates, becoming their undisputed leader. Malfred is known for his leadership skills and ability to inspire loyalty among his men. Malfred is a consummate strategist, known for meticulously planning attacks on merchant ships. He uses a combination of brute force and intelligence to surprise and defeat his enemies. Malfred is fond of ambushes and quick attacks, taking advantage of his in-depth knowledge of the geography of the Camelva River and the use of the Myrtha gold ship. Malfred was able to consolidate the power of the Carindale pirates by forming strategic alliances and imposing strict discipline. Under his leadership, the pirates have become an organized and effective force, capable of attacking even the most well-defended merchant ships. Malfred is respected and feared not only by the pirates, but also by the riverside communities and the sailors on the Camelva River. Humana is much more than Malfred's lover. She is his trusted companion and trusted advisor. Known for her striking beauty and her dark, piercing eyes, Huma has a significant influence on Malfred's decisions. She is respected among pirates for her intelligence and courage. Huma plays an active role in the planning and execution of attacks. She is often the one who identifies vulnerable targets and develops the strategies of approach. Her negotiation skills are also essential in dealing with prisoners and setting ransom terms. Huma is known for his ability to keep calm and make rational decisions even in crisis situations. The relationship between Huma and Malfred is based on love and a deep understanding of shared ambitions and goals. The two form a formidable duo, complementing each other in all aspects of their piracy activities. This relationship allowed them to maintain tight control over the pirates and consolidate their power on the Camelva River. The Myrtha Gold is more than just a ship, is the symbol of the power and dominance of the Carindale pirates. Constructed of the highest quality wood and equipped with the best weapons available, the Myrtha Gold is designed for speed and maneuverability. The ship is equipped with powerful cannons and boarding equipment, making it a force feared on the Camelva River. But the pirates also planned attacks on the Mila Ocean. The Myrtha Gold design is adapted to navigate the river waters quickly and efficiently. The ship's crew is well trained and experienced, each member having a specific role during the attacks. The ship's armament includes 4 cannons with crossbow cannons and firearms, all designed to quickly and efficiently subdue enemy ships. Myrtha Gold plays a central role in Malfred's piracy strategies. The ship's mobility and firepower allow pirates to execute surprise attacks and quickly escape before the defense forces can react. The ship is also a symbol of Malfred's authority and power, inspiring fear and respect among adversaries and allies alike. The attacks of the Carindale pirates are characterized by speed and violence. Malfred and his crew often use ambushes and intimidation tactics to subdue the crews of merchant ships. Ships are quickly boarded and valuable cargo seized. Prisoners are often held for ransom, and those who resist are brutally treated. Carindale pirates prefer to attack well-laden merchant ships, such as the Ligilda ship, carrying grain and other valuable goods. These attacks are not only opportunities to get rich, but also means to undermine the economy local and to exercise control over trade on the Camelva River and the Mila Ocean. A crucial aspect of pirate activities is obtaining ransoms. Prisoners captured during attacks are held for ransom from their families and companies. This is a major source of income for the pirates, allowing them to maintain their operations and upgrade their equipment. Loot from raids is distributed fairly among the crew, helping to maintain loyalty and morale among the pirates. Malfred ensures that all crew members are properly rewarded for their efforts, thus strengthening the group's cohesion and efficiency. The activities of the Carindale pirates have a significant impact on regional trade. Insecurity on the Camelva River discourages traders and seafarers, leading to increased transport costs and disruption of trade flows. Pirates are a constant threat, forcing traders to take extra security measures and pay higher fees for protection. Land of the Borings. The Borings Land, located 430 kilometers from Mount Iden where the Aled River originates and was the gateway to the Mila Ocean, represents a point of significant contrast to the other 3 nearby lands. The port city of Tuckborough, the main urban center of the Borings, is an oasis of prosperity and elegance. where daily life is markedly different from that of the mountainous and rural regions of the Birim Nale and Nale lands. The port city of Tuckborough had an ideal strategic position for trade and transport. The temperate oceanic climate and picturesque scenery of the borings make it a particularly attractive place. The beaches offer spectacular views for the whole year. Tourism was practically the main source of income. The gardens and parks of the city are carefully arranged, offering residents and visitors spaces for recreation and relaxation. The sun is present throughout the day, burning hot the gorgeous beaches where the tourists were relaxing. The nightlife was intense. The ladies and gentlemen as well as the ladies displayed the clothes created by the women of Nale Land from linen woven with thin gold thread. The magnificent horses that drove the carriages through the alleys of Tuckborough were buy from Birim Land, as well as shoes of rare beauty created by the men of Nale Land, with hides bought from the inhabitants of Birim Land. Tuckborough Harbour is a true hub of borings trade. Here, cafes and shops enliven urban life, offering residents and travelers a variety of products and services. The shops are well stocked with goods brought from various corners of the world. And the cafes are meeting places where business is discussed, friends are made, and ideas are exchanged. The fisheries were fed daily with ocean fish, but in fish brought from the land of Mbana, from where also came the roe of Moron, which were enjoyed with pleasure by the inhabitants of the town. A distinctive element of Tuckborough is its elegance and refinement. Ladies dressed in long dresses and carrying umbrellas walk the cobbled streets of the city, putting on a show of grace and style. Two-horse carriages are a common means of transport, reflecting the luxury and affluence of the inhabitants. These elegant means of transport are movable ornaments, adding an extra touch of charm to the atmosphere of the town. The streets of Tuckborough are paved and well maintained, reflecting the local authorities' attention to detail and comfort. The buildings are built in an elaborate architectural style, with decorated facades and large windows, which allow abundant natural light to penetrate. Every detail of the urban infrastructure is designed to create a pleasant and functional environment. The city is equipped with numerous public spaces, including parks, gardens, and plazas, where residents can relax and socialize. These spaces are tastefully designed, with shaded walkways, comfortable benches, and artesian fountains adding an element of elegance to the urban landscape. Borings is known for its cultural events and annual festivals, which attract visitors from far-flung regions. Festivals are occasions of collective joy, where residents and visitors can enjoy traditional foods, participate in theater and dance performances, and admire fireworks. Tuckborough is a center for education and the arts. The city is home to renowned schools and art academies, where young people are educated in the spirit of academic and artistic excellence. Libraries and art galleries are meeting places for intellectuals and artists, providing access to knowledge and cultural inspiration. The contrast between Borings and Nale is stark. While Nale is characterized by rural landscapes and agricultural activities, Borings is a sophisticated urban center, with an economy based on trade and services. This difference is reflected in the lifestyle of the inhabitants, who in Nale are closer to nature and agrarian traditions, while in Borings they enjoy luxury and urban sophistication. The differences between Borings and Birim are even more pronounced. Birim, with its harsh climate and mountainous landscapes, impose on the inhabitants a harsh and adaptable way of life, based on hunting and herding. In contrast, the Borings offer a comfortable and luxurious environment where commerce and culture thrive. The relationship between the two lands is complex, marked by economic interdependence, but also by significant cultural differences. The Borings land and the port city of Tuckborough represent an example of prosperity, elegance, and urban development. The contrast with the other three lands, Nale, Birim, and the one near the Camelva River, the nest of the Correndo pirates, emphasizes the diversity and complexity of the region. Life in Borings is marked by intense trade, cultural sophistication, and a well-developed infrastructure, offering residents a pleasant and comfortable environment. Economic and cultural relations with other lands are essential for the stability and prosperity of the region, demonstrating the importance of cooperation and interdependence in this complex and interconnected world. Chapter 2. The Origins of Amla Whitfoot. But peace and harmony were not always guaranteed in the land of Nale. In the shadows of the past, dark threats loomed, and as time passed, the danger became more palpable. Deep in the forest, old and dark secrets were hidden, threatening to disturb the peace, and to bring chaos and destruction to the land of Nale. However, Umla and its inhabitants were undeterred by the threats around them. They united and strengthened their ranks, ready to face any challenges and resolutely defend all that they have. He was dear. Together, they were an unstoppable force, ready to face whatever the future had in store. As the days passed and turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Umla and its inhabitants continued to work hard and to tend their fields and crops with love and devotion. Each day they celebrated the gifts they received from nature and acknowledged the blessings they had in their lives. And so in the land of Nale, under the wise and loving leadership of Umla Whitfoot, life moved forward in a harmonious and peaceful rhythm, and its inhabitants lived in peace and understanding, surrounded by the beauty and richness of nature that surrounded them. With her bright eyes and silver locks, Umla was respected and loved by the entire community. She was known for her wisdom, often being sought out for advice and guidance in the most difficult situations. Umla Whitfoot, the warrior leader of the Naledi people, was not only a respected leader in her community, but also a descendant of a noble Naledi family. Behind her graceful and wise appearance lay a story steeped in history and blood ties. Umla was descended from an ancient line of Naledes whose roots ran deep into their history. Her family was known for wisdom and their nobility, serving the community with dignity and devotion throughout the generations. In her family, Umla had 2 siblings, a brother named Flamriel and a sister named Pippa. Flamriel was known for his bravery and hunting skills, always ready to defend their community from any threat. Pippa, on the other hand, was a source of light and joy to all those around her, bringing smiles and comfort to those in the community. The bond between the 3 brothers was strong and undeniable. They grew up together amid the enchanting landscape of Nale Land. They shared the joys and hardships of everyday life, thus strengthening the bonds that united them. Under Umla's leadership, the family continued to serve and protect the Naledi people with the same devotion and passion as their ancestors. Together, they represented a living example of the values and traditions that defined the Naledi people, and their name remained proudly in the history and heart of their community. Parents of Umla Whitfoot, ruler of the land of Nale. Harbers Greenholm, the beloved father of Umla Whitfoot, was a remarkable figure in the history of the Naledian people. He was not only a great ruler, but a beloved and respected leader throughout the community. Harbers was known for his unflinching courage and devotion to his people. During his reign, Harbers faced many challenges and threats, especially from the Birim, the mortal enemies of the Naledian people. He led his people with wisdom and determination during conflicts, always being at the forefront of the fight for defense of their dear land. Isenta Brockhouse, Umla Whitfoot's mother, was a woman of remarkable strength and skill. She was not only a ruler in the truest sense of the word, but also a skilled fighter, wielding the sword with enviable skill. Isenta was respected and admired in the community for her courage and determination, being an example of female strength to all those around her. Joining their forces and talents, Harbers and Isenta formed a strong and dedicated couple, leading their people with wisdom and courage in difficult times. They were role models of leaders and parents, passing on their values of courage, devotion, and love for their people to their children, including Umla. Through their legacy, Umla Whitfoot was inspired to carry on the family tradition, to lead the Naledi people with wisdom, and to protect them with all her strength and determination. Harbers and Isenta have always remained in the hearts and memories of their people as symbols of dignity and courage in the face of any challenge. The tragedy that struck the Whitfoot family and the community of the Naledian people was devastating and marked by pain and loss. Harbers Greenholm and Isenta Brockhouse, the beloved parents of Umla Whitfoot, perished in a tragic incident at the River Aled, the river that surrounded the entire Myrtha forest, in a confrontation with the leader of the Birim, Belbinia Whithand. The River Aled, the source of life and resources for the Naledi people, became the scene of a bitter struggle between the 2 rival peoples. In the midst of this confrontation, Harbers and Isenta fought valiantly to protect their community and their beloved lands. However, tragedy struck when Belbinia Whithand, the leader of the Birim, undertook an act of merciless violence, overturning the boat in which they were Harbres and Isenta in the middle of the Aled River. In that tragic moment, the world of the Naledi people was shaken by the loss of their two beloved and respected leaders. Their deaths brought a wave of grief and anger throughout the community. The Naledi people felt the profound loss of to those who led and loved them with such passion and devotion. However, beyond the pain, a strong determination was born to honor his memory and continue the fight for freedom and safety. For Whitfoot, the loss of her parents hers was a terrible ordeal, but she resolutely took on the responsibility of continuing the family tradition and leading the Naledi people through difficult times. The death of her parents was not only a personal tragedy, but also a spark that fueled the fire resistance against the Barimi and any threat to their beloved community. The tragedy that befell the Whitfoot family was a terrifying and shocking one. The loss of Umla's parents in such a brutal and disrespectful manner deepened the already open wounds in the heart of the Naledi people community. Parents of Horlia Goodings, ruler of Birim land. Horlia's parents Belbinia Wihand and Lada Bracegirdle began as humble traders, traveling from village to village in search of precious furs and other valuable goods. They built a prosperous business and became known for their bargaining skills and the quality of their products. Marillion, a village located in the waters of the Aled River, a village located in the Nale Land, became their main trading destination, where they established solid and profitable relations with the locals. There they discovered the secret that led to the death of the parents of the leader of the Nale Land, Umla Whitfoot. In the depths of the river Aled there was a blue shell that had a small bright blue pearl inside. A local wanted to sell Lada, the wife of the merchant Belbinia, a small blue ball that had a bright white shine, and it was asked where he got it, and he replied that he fished it from the river Aled. Myrtha was called this little pearl. The name came from the shell of the same name that was in the depths of the river Aled, and which was fished by a single man from the Marillion village called Isumder Burings. It was then that Belbinia had the idea of kidnapping the clam fisherman Isumder and taking him to the land of Bilim to make him his slave and fish the Myrtha clams for him. Of course no one he did not see when Lada paid quite a sum for Myrtha, in SA, which was the local currency of those lands. As their business grew, Belbinia and Lada began to expand their influence and consolidate their power in the land of Birim. They built alliances with other merchant families and made lucrative deals with local leaders. With each successful transaction, they gained more power and respect in their community. Amidst this landscape of prosperity and power, Horlia was born, their son, a brave and determined creature. From an early age, he was initiated into the secrets of trade and negotiation. Learning from her parents the art and tactics of doing business, Horlia grew up in an environment where ambition and power were core values, and he in turn became an influential player in the merchant world of Beriem. As time passed, the Whithand and Bracegirdle family grew richer and more powerful, expanding their business throughout Land and beyond. They controlled the trade in furs, weapons, exotic goods, and other goods needed by the local communities, gaining vast amounts of money and power. During their journey to Nale Land, Belbinia and Lada bought a shining pearl in the middle of a enchanted lake. The discovery of Myrtha. In the heart of the Nale Land, the Aled River flowed smoothly and majestically, crossing picturesque landscapes and forests of overwhelming beauty. However, once it reached a certain point, after a winding bend, it turned into a huge lake, with a depth that seemed to have no bottom. In its murky and mysterious depths lived a legend, related to a shell named Myrtha. This is the fascinating story of Lake Aled and its mysterious inhabitant. The people of Nale Land have long known about the existence of Lake Aled, but few dared to venture into its deep and unknown waters. On a sunny spring day, Isumder, a resident of Marillion village in Nale Land, decided to investigate the mystery of the lake deeper. While sailing on the calm waters, he noticed that the river Aled was turning into a vast lake and of an intense blue color, the color given by the algae that was found in the lake. As Isumder turned his attention to the depths of the lake, he discovered a strange feeling of unease and mystery. The water, it seemed to hide ancient and dark secrets, and its depths stretched into an inexplicable abyss. According to local legend, in the depths of Lake Aled lived a mysterious and charming shell called Myrtha. This shell was known for its shining beauty and magical powers. Myrtha was said to have the power to grant the wishes of those who found her and brought her to the surface. But to do so required courage, determination, and faith. Inspired by legend and armed with courage and determination, Isamder set out on a daring quest to find the Myrtha shell and discover the truth behind the legend. As he pondered whether to enter the depths of the lake, a magic related to the power of enchanted shells to be discovered intervened in his mind, and the fear disappeared instantly, and plunged into the waters of a lead lake. On the way of diving he discovered an incredibly beautiful and magical world. As the man got closer and closer to the bottom of the lake, he was faced with dangers and obstacles that he could not have anticipated. Strange and mysterious creatures appeared from the depths, trying to stop him in his quest. However, he remained determined and unwavering in his faith, doggedly searching for the Myrtha shell. After many trials and tribulations, the brave Isamder reached finally at the bottom of the lake, where he found an enchanting glow emanating from a large, shining seashell. At that moment, he understood the hidden truth behind the legend and realized that Myrtha's power was more than just a myth. Those who had the courage to believe and dare to follow their hearts had the opportunity to fulfill their most burning desires. With the Myrtha shell in his hand and his heart full of wisdom and trust, Isamder returned to his home village, bringing with him the incredible story of his adventure and his amazing discovery. Among the chieftains around them wanted the Myrtha shell to be opened, but they submitted to the decision taken by Harbraz and Incenta, a decision that would later be found to be a wise decision. The discoverer of the Myrtha shell was given a crystal box Milia, to hide the shell, knowing that the Milia crystal has the power to protect the object inside from any other outsider. The first to open the box was considered the owner of the object inside. So in front of Harbraz and Incenta, Isamder opened the Milia crystal and put the Myrtha shell inside. From that moment anyone touching the crystal, except Isamder, was blinded. The choice not to open the Myrtha shell shows that unless parents are cautious and aware of the possible risks, they understand that magical items can bring both benefits and problems, and prefer to avoid any negative consequences that may arise from opening the shell. The decision to stay with the one who discovered the Myrtha shell shows unless parents respect for his work and courage to the explorer who found it. They acknowledge their contribution and give him due credit for their discovery, instead of trying to appropriate the power and mystery that the shell represents. By refusing to open the shell and take possession of the power magic they represent, Harbraz and Incenta demonstrate remarkable wisdom and integrity. They prefer to stay true to their values and avoid any temptation that could endanger their family and their community. They protect their family and their community and choose to live in harmony with their values and their known world, avoiding any risks or temptations that might disturb their balance and peace. The legend of the Myrtha shell has become an integral part of the heritage and culture of the land of Nale Land. The secret has been kept for over 70 years, but, in his desire for wealth, Elder Isamder made a mistake that would change the history of these distant and mysterious lands. Selling Myrtha. A peaceful morning in the courtyard of Harbraz Greenholm's house was disturbed by the arrival of a messenger, who brought disturbing news. It was said that the Myrtha pearl, the sacred symbol of the land of Nale Land, had been sold to the rulers of the land of Birim. This news caused unrest and concern among the inhabitants, and King Harbraz felt that he must act promptly to resolve the matter. Harbraz summoned Frovebrand Banks, one of his wisest and most loyal advisers, as well as Isamder, to discuss the delicate situation of the sale of Myrtha. During their meeting, the Harbraz ruler promised Isamder that he would not be punished for his role in the affair, but asked for his help in resolving this difficult situation. Following tense discussions between the Harbraz ruler and his trusted advisor, Frovebrand concluded that swift and decisive action was necessary to recover the Myrtha pearl. Thus, Isamder was forced to pay for his mistake and make the long journey to Birim Land, accompanied by his niece Lolania Bolger, a girl of rare beauty and a fearless spirit of adventure. Despite the promise of not being punished, Isamder felt it was his duty to right his wrong and bring back the Myrtha pearl to the Nale Land. With a heavy heart, he accepted the mission which the king entrusted to him, aware that he will have to face the dangers and challenges that will arise during his journey to Birim Land. Isamder and Lolania prepared their journey carefully, knowing that the road to Birim Land would be long and full of obstacles. With supplies and proper equipment, they set off at dawn, with the image of the Myrtha pearl in mind and the desire to bring back peace and harmony to the land of Nale Land. As they traveled to the land of Birim, Isumder and Lolania encountered a variety of different people and cultures. They were welcomed warmly by some, but also met with suspicion and hostility from others. However, they continued to advance resolutely, knowing that their mission was one of vital importance to the land of Nale Land. Arriving in Birim land, Isumder and Lolania began their quest for the Myrtha pearl. They talked to the locals, explored the fairs and markets of the cities, trying to gather information about where the precious treasure could be hidden. As time passed, however, our travelers realized that their mission was much more difficult than they imagined, initially. After 2 weeks of travel, the two arrived at the camp of the leaders of Birim. Isumder knew that he could not approach the leaders directly, so he decided to slowly infiltrate the camp, using his skills as a negotiator and trader. Managed to gain the trust of some of the camp's inhabitants. Although Myrtha was well guarded, their intelligence and subtlety began to pay off. The rulers of Birim, Balbinia Wihand and his wife, Lada Bracegirdle, worshipped the shell, convinced of its magical powers. Lolania and her foray into Birim land is a captivating one, full of adventure, love and mystery. This narrative unfolds in the complex context of relationships between different ruling families, where alliances and enmities can change quickly. Lolania, a brave and intelligent young woman, penetrates Birim land and befriends Horlia, the son of the leaders Balbinia Withand and Lada Bracegirdle. Over the course of a year, their relationship develops from friendship to love, and Lolania discovers a dark secret: the location of Myrtha, the shining pearl with evil powers. The land of Nale, the birthplace of Lolania, is known for its dense forests and rich traditions. The people of Nale are mainly farmers, craftsmen and seafarers, with a culture that values both nature and knowledge. On the other hand, the land of Birim is a more arid territory, with a warlike society and powerful rulers. The Birimi are known for their military skills and for protecting ancient relics with mysterious powers. Lolania is a 19-year-old girl from the Nale Land with long blonde hair and piercing green eyes. She is known in her village for her bravery and ingenuity. Raised in a family of craftsmen and sailors, Lolania learned from an early age to appreciate both the beauty of nature and the art of craftsmanship. Lolania is not only beautiful, but also intelligent and determined. Her sailing skills and detailed knowledge of wood and boat building gives her a unique advantage in her adventures. In addition, Lolania is a particularly beautiful girl, which helps her quickly integrate into different communities. Her courage and spirit of adventure are tempered by a strong sense of justice and a desire to protect her family and community. Lolania is sent to Birim land by the elders of her village to discover the location of Myrtha, the shining pearl said to have evil powers. This mission is extremely risky, but Lolania accepts the challenge, determined to recover Myrtha and thus protect his land from the dangers she could unleash. Isumder and Lolania leave for the land of Birim. Upon arriving in Birim, Lolania assumes a false identity to protect her true mission. She presents herself as a simple traveler looking for work and lodging. Her first significant encounter is with Horlia, the son of rulers Balbinia Withand and Lada Bracegirdle. Horlia, a young man of the same age as Lolania, is a prince with a free spirit and a burning desire to explore the world beyond the borders of Birim. Their first meeting is marked by a mixture of curiosity and mutual attraction. Horlia is fascinated by Lolania's stories of the land of Nale, and Lolania is impressed by Horlia's intelligence and adventurous spirit. In the months that follow, Lolania and Horlia become close friends. They share stories about their birthplaces and reveal their dreams and aspirations. Their friendship develops into a relationship of mutual trust and respect. Horlia helps Lolania settle into life in Birim and learn about the local culture and customs. As time passes, the friendship between Lolania and Horlia turns into love. Lolania and Horlia are in love and discuss their love. In the middle of an intimate conversation, they express their feelings and make love, talking about their mutual beauty and attraction. Horlia's sad face stroking her hair, with a tender look. Lolania, I've never seen someone as beautiful as you. Your eyes shine like stars, and your smile lights up my day. Lolania's sad face smiling sweetly. Oh, Horlia, you make me feel so special. You are the reason why I feel safe and loved. Your love gives me strength and hope. Horlia's sad face with a warm voice. Ever since I saw you for the first time, I knew you were unique. You are more than beautiful, Lolania. You are brave, intelligent, and full of life. I love you for everything you are. Lolania's sad face looking deeply into his eyes. I love you too, Horlia. With you by my side, I feel complete. You are my support, my best friend, and the love of my life. Horlia's sad face pulling her closer. You are everything to me. I can't imagine my life without you. Every moment spent with you is a precious gift. Lolania's sad face voice trembling with emotion. I remember our first meeting, how you made my heart beat faster. And now, every day with you is a new adventure of our love. Horlia's sad face kissing her lightly on the forehead. You are incredible, Lolania. Your outer beauty is only a small part of what makes you so special. Your heart, your kindness, the way you see the world, all these make me love you even more. Lolania's sad face stroking her cheek. Horlia, with you by my side, I feel safe and loved. You give me the strength to be myself and follow my dreams. I love you with all my heart. Horlia's sad face with a voice full of desire. Lolania, I want to share this special night. I want to show you how much I love you. Lolania's sad face with a seductive smile. I want the same thing. Horlia, let's let our love guide us and be there for each other in this magical night. Horlia's sad face in a whisper, approaching her. Lolania, you are incredible. Your beauty fascinates me and makes me love you more and more. I want you, my love. Lolania, with a sigh of happiness, I want you too, Horlia. Every touch of yours makes me feel alive. I love you more than I can express in words. Horlia, passionately, I will always love you, Lolania. Let's be together tonight, and let our love carry us. Lolania's sad face in a hot whisper. Yes, Horlia. Let's let our love guide us and unite our souls in this magical night. The two young people spend more and more time together, exploring the surroundings and discussing their future plans. Horlia is captivated by Lolania's intelligence and beauty, while Lolania is attracted by Horlia's courage and passion. The love between Lolania and Horlia is not without of challenges. Lolania's true identity and her secret mission create a constant tension in their relationship. Lolania must carefully navigate between her desire to be honest with Horlia and the need to protect her mission. In addition, cultural differences and family expectations adds an additional layer of complexity to their relationship. Lolania spends a year in Birim, observing and gathering information about Myrtha's location. Using her relationship with Horlia and her position within the Birim community, Lolania manages to learn crucial details about the pearl. At the same time, she must be careful not to arouse suspicion about her true intentions. After many months of research and investigation, Lolania manages to discover the exact location of Myrtha. The pearl is hidden in a secret grotto, well guarded by the most loyal warriors of Birim. Lolania understands that in order to get the pearl, she will need a well-thought-out plan and Horlia's help. Faced with the truth, Lolania faces an intense inner struggle. Her love for Horlia and loyalty to the land Nale collides, leaving her in a deep moral dilemma. Revealing the truth could destroy her relationship with Horlia and endanger the peace between the two lands. In the end, Lolania decides that honesty is the best way. She confesses to Horlia the true reason for her presence in Birim and the purpose of her mission. Initially, Horlia is shocked and hurt, feeling betrayed by the person he trusted the most. However, their strong love and desire to find a solution together leads them to overcome this obstacle. After discussions and reflections, Lolania and Horlia decide to work together to recover Myrtha. Horlia understands the danger that the evil pearl represents, and now understands why his parents turned from merchants to barbarians, and together they destabilize the cohesion of Birim land. Together, the two develop a plan detailed to infiltrate the secret cave and get the pearl. With the help of Horlia's knowledge of Birim's security and Lolania's skills in navigation and survival, their plan is put into action. Passing through numerous dangers and obstacles, the two manage to enter the cave and retrieve Myrtha. Here Isumder intervenes, who had promised the Birim leader Belbinia that he will wait for the moment when he can fish from the river lead and other Myrtha shells. Isumder, determined to fulfill his mission, becomes more and more impatient as time passes. He notices the growing relationship between Lolania and Horlia and begins fearing that this could compromise the success of the mission. Finally, he decides it is time to act. Isumber devises a plan to put Horlia to sleep and escape with Myrtha. Isumber's sad face looking seriously at Lolania. Lolania, we need to talk. Our plan is about to be implemented and you must be focused. Your love for Horlia must not destroy our mission. Lolania's sad face sighing deeply, with teary eyes. I know, Isumber. I realize how important it is to recover Myrtha. But Horlia, I really love him. It is not easy to betray him. Isumber's sad face in a firm voice. Lolania, we cannot let our feelings weaken our resolve. Myrtha is too dangerous to stay here. We must take her and run. It is our only chance. Lolania's sad face looking down, troubled. I understand. But know that my heart is torn between my love for Horlia and my duty. I don't know if I can do this without suffering enormously. Isumber's sad face putting his hand on her shoulder. Lolania, I know it's hard. But think of all the people who might suffer if Myrtha stays in the wrong hands. You have to be strong. I know you can. Lolania's sad face fighting back tears. I will do the right thing, Isumber. But know that every step I take hurts me. I will gather my courage and make love to Horlia, and then I will put the cure in her wine. Isumber's sad face with a compassionate look. I understand your sacrifice, Lolania. But you must stay focused. Once Horlia falls asleep, we must act quickly. We take Myrtha and run as fast as possible. Lolania's sad face with a determined nod. That's what I'll do. We'll recover Myrtha and leave Birim. But I only ask you to understand that my soul will stay here, with Horlia. Isumber's sad face with a sad smile. I understand, Lolania. But we must think of the greater good. Now go and follow our plan. Everything will be fine. Lolania leaves for the room where Horlia is. She wipes her tears and prepares for what is to come. Lolania's sad face entering Horlia's room, with a sad smile. Horlia, my love. I miss you so much. I want to spend this night together. Horlia's sad face smiling widely, with open arms. Lolania, I miss you too. Every moment away from you is an eternity. Come here. They embrace and kiss passionately, letting themselves be carried away by their love. After they make love, Lolania hands him a glass of wine. Lolania's sad face with trembling voice. I brought your favorite wine. Horlia. Let's drink it together and enjoy this magical night. Horlia's sad face with a big smile. Thank you, my love. Let's enjoy this wonderful evening. They drink the wine, and after a few minutes, Horlia begins to feel the effects of the cure. His eyes slowly close, and he falls asleep. Lolania's sad face with tears in her eyes, whispering, Forgive me, Horlia. I love you with all my heart, but I have to do this. She sneaks out and meets Isumber. Together, they take Myrtha and flee Birim. Lolania cannot stop the tears streaming down her cheeks. Isumber's sad face looking at her with compassion. Lolania, you did what you had to do. I know it's hard, but you were brave. Let's get as far away from here as possible. Lolania's sad face crying. I will miss him, Isumber. I will miss every moment spent with Horlia. But we must move forward, for the good of all. They leave in a hurry, leaving behind Birim and Horlia, who remains asleep, not knowing that he has been betrayed by the love of his life. Isumber was determined to kill Horlia, but at Lolania's pleas he abandons his plan. Isumber shows weakness once more. After Horlia falls asleep, Lolania and Isumber take Myrtha and flee the land of the Barims. With their navigation skills and knowledge of the surrounding land, they manage to escape from Birim, heading for the land of Nale. All this time, Lolania hides the fact that she is pregnant with Horlia's child, fearing the consequences that this news could bring. When Horlia wakes up and discovers that Lolania and Myrtha are gone, he feels a deep pain and betrayal. He realizes that the person he trusted the most has betrayed him and that his mission was a trap from the very beginning. However, Horlia keeps his cool and decides to reveal the whole truth to his parents. Horlia tells his parents, Balbinia Withhand and Lotta Bracegirdle, everything that happened. He explains to them about Lolania's secret mission and her betrayal, but he also tells them about their true love. The rulers of Birim are angry and disappointed, but they are also concerned about Myrtha's evil powers and the danger the pearl poses to the entire kingdom. Lolania and Isunder return to Nale with Myrtha. Although their mission was a success, Lolania is tormented by remorse and the pain of separation from Horlia. She keeps her pregnancy a secret, fearing the reactions of those around her and the impact this news will have on her and the child's future. Once they arrive in Nale, Myrtha is sealed and protected in a safe place, away from those who might use it for evil purposes. The community of Nale is grateful for the success of the mission, but Lolania feels that the price paid was too high. Lolania suffers from the betrayal she committed and the loss of Horlia. Although she fulfills her duty to the land of Nale, her love for Horlia remains strong. She faces an uncertain future, knowing that she is carrying the child of the one she betrayed. In Birim, Horlia and the family, he resolves not to let Lolania's betrayal go unpunished. He channels his pain and anger into training and strengthening alliances with other lands. Although suffering from the loss of Lolania, Horlia remains a strong leader and determined to protect Birim from outside dangers. Time passes. Lolania's pregnancy becomes obvious. She is forced to reveal the truth about her child and about the relationship with Horlia. The Nale community is surprised and worried, but Lolania receives the support of her family and close friends. The reactions of the Nale community are mixed. Some they support Lolania, seeing her pregnancy as a symbol of the bond between Nale and Birim, while others view her with suspicion and disapproval. Lolania must deal with these various reactions, finding her place in her native society and preparing for the role of mother. Tensions between Nale and Birim rise as news of Lolania's betrayal spreads. Birim's rulers demand explanations and compensation, and the rulers of Nale try to mediate the situation and prevent an open conflict. Negotiations become increasingly difficult and fragile alliances are put to the test. Birbinia attacks Nale. Birbinia, Horlia's father, makes the decision to attack the land of Nale to retrieve the Myrtha pearl and bring Lolania back with her son, Ivel. This attack brings devastation and radical changes in the lives of those involved, highlighting the complexity of the relationship between the two lands and the heavy price of war. Relations between the lands of Nale and Birim have always been complex, marked by rivalries, tensions and occasional alliances. After Lolania's betrayal and her elopement with Myrtha, relations became even more strained. Birim, a powerful and warlike land, feels threatened by the pearl's evil powers and its potential to destabilize the balance of power. Birbinia, the ruler of the land of Birim and Horlia's father, is a leader known for his determination and military prowess. He is deeply affected by Lolania's betrayal, and anger his is fueled by the desire to retrieve Myrtha and avenge his son. His decision to attack Nale is not an easy one to make, but he believes it is the only way to protect Birim and restore his family's honor. Birbinia summons a council of war to discuss plans to attack Nale. He gathers his most trusted fighters and strategists to draw up a detailed plan. Discussions are intense and strategic, analyzing the weak points of Nale's defenses and planning a swift and decisive attack. The fog of Birim prepares for war. Soldiers are rigorously trained, equipment is checked and supplies are stockpiled. Birbinia knows that the attack must be swift and effective, so as to minimize casualties and ensure the success of the mission. The distance between the two of the land was 2 weeks, 2 rorium, to ride on horseback, but with a company of 500 warriors it could take up to 3 weeks, 3 rorium. The leader of the Barims, Birbinia, had a great advantage over the village of Marillion. Because the company coming down from the upstream on the banks of the river Aled Marillion was the first village and could be attacked without the other villages downstream being able to jump to Marillion's aid. In a dark night, Birbinia's army reaches the borders of Myrtha village, the first village in Nale Land and the most important from a strategic point of view. The village is quiet, its inhabitants unaware of the imminent danger. Birbinia orders the attack. Birim fighters advance in silence, using the darkness as cover. With military precision, they begin the assault on the village, attacking the main buildings and the houses of the leaders. The inhabitants are caught off guard and their defenses are quickly overwhelmed. The rulers of Nale Land are killed during the attack, leaving the village leaderless and deepening the chaos. Their deaths represent a devastating blow to the Nale resistance and a triumph for Birbinia's army. Amidst the chaos, Birbinia's fighters arrive at Lolania's house. She and her son, Evel, are found hiding, trying to protect themselves from the violence around them. Lolania is caught between fear for her son's safety and desperation to avoid being captured. Lolania and Evel are captured and forcibly taken to the land of Birim. During the journey, Lolania faces the pain of betrayal and fear for her and her son's future. Evel, though very young, feels the tension and danger, staying close to his mother. When Lolania and Evel arrive in Birim, they are brought before Horlia. The reunion is fraught with complex emotions. Horlia, though angry at Lolania for her betrayal, is shocked to discover she has a son. 3-year-old Evel becomes the focus of this tense reunion. Birbinia confronts Lolania, asking her to reveal where Myrtha is hidden. Lolania initially refuses to cooperate, thus protecting the people of Nale and the evil Pearl. The confrontation between the two becomes increasingly intense, each of them being determined to achieve their goals. Lolania and Evel are kept under strict surveillance in Birim. Although they are treated relatively well, they are practically prisoners, constantly monitored to prevent any attempt to escape. Lolania tries to protect her son and provide him with a stable environment despite the difficult circumstances. As time passes, Horlia begins to spend more time with Evel, trying to establish a relationship with his son. Although still angry and betrayed by Lolania, Horlia cannot ignore the blood connection with Evel and the desire to be a father to him. The relationship between Horlia and Lolania remains tense and complicated, but the two try to find a way to coexist for the sake of the child. Birbinia continues to pressure Lolania to reveal Myrtha's location. He uses various tactics, from threats to promises of protection for Evel, in an attempt to force him to yield. Lolania, however, remains firm in her decision to protect the secret, aware of the danger that Myrtha represents. The escape. Lolania, a particularly ambitious and strong woman, never gave up on the idea of escaping the land of Birim with her son, Evel. In her mind, her son's freedom and safety were priority, and life in Birim, under the control of Horlia, was unbearable. Although Horlia loved her, Lolania consistently refused to become his wife. Remaining true to her own conviction and desire to regain her freedom. It had been 3 years since the Battle of Marillion, and Evel was now 6 years old. In this time, Lolania remained steadfast in her determination not to bend to Horlia's will. Although Horlia made considerable efforts to convince her to stay by his side and accept the role of queen, Lolania steadfastly refused. In the end, Horlia, aware of the impossibility of changing his mind, married a woman from the Birim tribe, thus ensuring the political stability of the region and the legitimacy of the succession. During their 3 years in Birim, Lolania and Evel lived under the close supervision of Horlia and her court. Although essentially prisoners, they were treated with respect and given certain privileges. Lolania used this time to educate her son and secretly plan their escape. Horlia, though hurt by Lolania's refusal, continued to care for her and Evel. Despite his rejection, he was unable to treat her cruelly. Instead, he channeled his affection and devotion to his new wife and to ruling the land of Birim. The complex relationship between Horlia and Lolania was marked by a constant tension, where love and resentment intertwined in a complicated way. Lolania began to elaborate a meticulous escape plan, using every opportunity to gather information about the landscape around Birim and the guard patrols. Although she was closely watched, she managed to get the support of a young girl named Rolla Stumbletoe, to whom she was very close. They both decided that Rolla, under the pretext of being sick for a few days, would sneak out of the Birim land camp and contact Umla, the ruler of the land of Nale, for help. The distance between the two lands was about 10 lidik, which could be covered on foot in about 2 rans. But Rolla and Lolalia decided that this distance must be covered on horseback and that Rolla could not go alone on this dangerous road, so they managed to convince Rolla's brother, Tarbus. Rolla, a close friend of Lolania, and her brother Tarbus, were chosen for this important mission. Both were known for their loyalty and the courage shown by over the years. They knew their mission was dangerous, but they were determined to help. The journey to Nale was difficult and fraught with obstacles. For 6 days, Rolla and Tarbus traversed rugged terrain, evaded Birim patrols, and faced the natural dangers of the region. The road was long, but their goal was clear: to arrive safely in Nale and bring help to Lolania. Arriving in the land of Nale, Rolla and Tarbus were received with emotion and concern by those who remained. The news of Lolania's captivity and the dangers that faced them moved the hearts of the inhabitants of Nale, many of them being ready to risk everything to save her. But the leaders of the Nale Land had some doubts that the two could spy, and invited them into their house and began questioning. Umla's sad face looking seriously at Rolla and Tarbus. "You have come a long and dangerous way to get here. I understand you are sent by Lolania. How can we be sure of this?" Rolla sad face in a calm but determined voice. "Umla, I understand your doubts. I came here with a direct message from Lolania. She gave us this symbol, a pendant that only she wears, the symbol of her house." Tarbus sad face taking out the pendant and showing it to Umla and Loden. "This is our proof. Only Lolania could give us this item. You know as well as we do that no one else would have had access to it." Loden sad face examining the pendant, then looking at Umla. "It's true, this is her symbol. But we still need more details. What exactly did Lolania tell you to communicate to us?" Rolla sad face stepping forward. "Lolania asked us to tell you that the situation is becoming more and more dangerous for her and Avel. She is planning to escape and needs our help. Horlia has become suspicious and the security theirs is in danger." Tarbus sad face in a serious voice. "He also told us about the escape plan. He wants to take advantage of a stormy night, when the guards are less vigilant. It is essential that we act quickly and coordinated to get them out of Birim safely." Umla's sad face looking worriedly at Loden. "The plan seems well thought out. But how will we be able to get Lolania and Avel out of Birim without attracting attention and causing another conflict?" Loden sad face thinking deeply. "Tarbus, Rolla, you said you have a strategy to avoid the guards and navigate the difficult terrain. Can you give us more details on how you plan to do that?" Tarbus sad face bowing his head. "Of course, Loden. We've mapped the route and identified the weak points of the patrols. We'll use the cover of night and our knowledge of the terrain to sneak past the guards. We also have allies in Birim who will help us from the inside." Rolla sad face adding, "I learned from Lolania specific codes and signals that we will use to communicate without attracting attention. She will send us a signal when the moment is right." Umla's sad face making a decision. "Okay. We will provide the necessary resources and organize a rescue team. Lolania and Avel need to be rescued. We will do our best to bring them back safely." Loden sad face approving. "Let's prepare immediately. Tarbus, Rolla, you will lead this mission. I know you are determined and capable. We will work closely together to ensure that the plan succeeds." Rolla sad face with a grateful smile. "Thank you, Umla, Loden. Lolania and Avel are counting on us. We won't let them down." Tarbus sad face determined. "We will act quickly and efficiently. Every moment counts. Let's start the preparations." Umla and Loden were convinced of the authenticity of the mission and decided to support the rescue of Lolania and Avel. With the plan well laid out and the determination of the rescue team, their brave action was ready to begin. They knew that the success of the mission depended on careful planning and perfect timing. Among those who volunteered for the mission were Amal's brother named Flamriel and her sister named Pippa, who also took with them several Nality fighters who were known for their fighting skills and their loyalty to Lolania. With all the necessary resources gathered, the rescue team began their journey to Birim. The road was dangerous and required utmost caution. The team members were aware of the risks involved, but were determined to complete their mission. As they neared Birim, the tension grew. They had to sneak past the guard patrols and navigate the mountainous terrain of the region. Knowledge of the terrain and camouflage strategies were crucial to avoid detection. Once near where she was being held, Lolania, Rolla managed to make initial contact with her. Coded messages and discreet signals allowed them to communicate without attracting the attention of the guards. Lolania, Rolla and Tarbus meticulously planned their escape. The timing was crucial on a stormy night, when visibility was low and the guards were less vigilant. Each team member had a well-defined role, and coordination was essential to success. In the stormy night, the rescue team put the plan into action. With the help of their allies inside, they succeeded to avoid the guards and sneak into the place where Lolania and Avel were being held. It was a tense operation, but well executed. With Lolania and Avel safe, the team began the perilous journey back to Nale. The storm gave them the cover they needed to avoid the security patrols. The way back was as dangerous as the original one. But the determination and courage of the team helped them make their way through the rugged terrain. When Horlia discovered the escape of Lolania and his son, anger and despair overwhelmed him. He immediately ordered the organization of search parties. But the storm and difficult terrain made search operations difficult. At the same time, he was aware that escaping could lead to a rekindling of the conflict with Nale. When Lolania, Yvel and the rescue team arrived in Nale, they were greeted with joy and relief. The family's reunification and successful escape were celebrated as a major victory. However, they were aware that their act of bravery could have serious repercussions. Lolania and Yvel's escape had the potential to reignite the old conflict between Nale and Birim. Horlia, wounded by betrayal and the loss of his son, was tempted to retaliate by force. However, even in Birim there were voices advocating a diplomatic solution to avoid further bloodshed. In Nale, local leaders tried to assess the situation and find a way to protect the land from a possible attack. At the same time, they began to explore the possibility of negotiating with Horlia, hoping that the personal connection between Lolania and Horlia could be used to reach a peaceful settlement.